down to like
Oh, I had
40
mine
right
at like
now.
I had mine at 29, so I could just barely hear it.
Okay.
Um, this elf approaches you, Dio, and you hear strange, otherworldly sounds when he comes near you that kind of remind you of those weird specters that you guys encountered at the Abbey, the ones that that were dealing you guys psychic damage. You
Yeah.
can just hear weird whispers and like voices on the wind that are like surrounding this guy, like an aura basically.
Hmm.
And he says, "I am Rahadin. I am the Count's steward. I've I've requested you please do not ascend the mountain. 'Tis very dangerous. I am only here because Mistress Ludmilla requested me to take her there." And he he kind of looks at your weapon for a minute, and he looks at the rest of you as if he's kind of sizing you up for battle or something. And
Right.
he says, "It is not safe to travel at night. Please be careful." And he gives you a little bow. He's a very formal type of guy. He gives you a little bow, and he turns and strolls away. And you get a good look at this big, wicked-looking sword that he carries on his back. Like he's not a buff guy because he's like an elf, but he's like tall and scarred. He looks like he's definitely seen some battle.
Sure. Um, I don't think Dio would even say anything. I think he would just simply nod if that's all he's gonna do and say, and just walk back, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. No one really says much. He just says be careful, and he says good day, and he turns and goes back, follows Ludmilla to the wagon, and he gets up in the driver's seat and starts driving. Starts heading up the mountain. And Esmeralda, after they leave, Esmeralda says, "Did she say husband?"
Yeah, I believe she did.
Does Strahd have mistresses?
Well,
It wouldn't
she might
surprise
not
me.
have been referring to Strahd. Didn't she just say that her husband would not like us up here?
That's what she
Right.
said.
So I don't know who her husband would be, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's him. Either way, I would not. I mean, their advice doesn't mean anything to me. I'll do whatever I want. They're obviously not friends of ours. They're, you know, disciples of Strahd, so there's no reason that anybody in Barovia would ever care about our safety and where we should be because it's a dangerous place.
Hmm.
They only care if it's dangerous because of Ireena. They don't want her to get hurt.
Honestly, everywhere in Barovia is a dangerous place,
Exactly.
so
And
I don't think it really makes much of a difference.
Dio, you noticed that those sounds, whispers you heard from him, sounded almost like people screaming in pain, but it was very faint and creepy. It was very creepy.
Hmm. Is this something like,
He didn't seem to be a ghost or any kind of,
yeah?
monster. He just seemed like a normal elf. He
Is
just
this okay? So is this something related to say like something I can see alone,
no, not
or
well. You don't know, but he was much closer to you than anyone else. I don't know if you would have used your divine sense or not when they.
I feel like honestly, I think Dio probably would have actually.
Okay, so
I do have a charge for it, so I'll use it.
if you would have noticed that Ludmilla, the woman, is a vampire for sure, And Rahadin was not undead.
But not like, let's see what else. Not a fiend either,
Yeah,
or
he
celestial, I
was none of
assume.
those things.
Okay.
But based on the way she looked and the fact that she was undead, you're pretty sure that Ludmilla is a vampire.
Well, I'm fairly certain that the woman was a vampire.
Um, Esmeralda says, "I thought Strahd was the only greater vampire in Barovia. I had only seen vampire spawn before. That's worrying."
Hmm.
In my experience, if there's one vampire, there's more.
To make a greater vampire such as that, the vampire lord has to feed his own blood to them in a ritual to grant them, uh, I guess, independence, you might say. Otherwise, they become feral spawn, like we see all over Barovia.
So you're saying that Strahd created this
If it,
willingly, if that's the case?
I assume it must have been him. That's
Hmm.
that's probably the fate that awaits Ireena if he ever gets his hands on you.
So we're not even going the direction that they warned us against. So why does,
You're coming from that way, but
Right.
Mhm.
so we came from the top of the mountain
you guys were
where they're
going.
warning us.
Yeah, yeah. The Argynval's
Oh,
hut was toward the mountaintop.
Like we were about to go up the mountain, but then Ruby died, so we have to go back. So we were leaving away from the mountain, and then they're
further
like,
up the mountain.
don't go up the mountain, and we're like, we're not. And they're like, it's dangerous. Like they don't care about us.
Not
Well,
really.
right.
They care about you
I
because of Strahd.
I was wondering if it was sort of a veiled threat that um, elf was suggesting that he was dangerous at night. He might come after us. Does that
Perhaps.
make sense?
Um, if anyone wants, you can make an insight check on their motives.
Ruby's got really high insight.
Hmm.
She didn't participate in the conversation, so
Right.
What is Swain's insight?
+2.
I meant,
Oh, like what does he gain? Um, you kind of
what
get the
insight does Swain have today?
you kind of get the impression that the woman was a little more threatening, but kind of in a haughty way, and she definitely was staring at Ireena a lot. And but the elf Rahadin seemed to just be a very just polite person. Though he
It's a
was
badass sword.
though he was creepy, he didn't have any kind of aggressive posturing or anything like that at all.
No, it seemed like he had quite a bit of etiquette. Like he was like bowing and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I say we be on our way. Every moment counts.
You'll need to camp soon. I assume you guys would want to do your double bubble combo.
Double bubble
At
toil and
the
trouble.
Alright, so we're setting up for a long rest.
either where you stopped or at some point not long after, you guys would probably need to rest.
Can
You
you give
can
us a page whereabouts we would be stopped along the way?
sure. Probably. Let me get my neon purple, neon pink, whatever purple it is. Probably like right there.
Okay. That's not very far. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because it was like midday.
Yeah, it was past noon when you guys left.
Okay.
So, you guys drop your double bubbles. You still probably. I think last time you were leaving one person at a time to keep watch, right?
Right.
Because I remember you guys saw a skeletal rider one time.
Oh yeah, that's right. That happened. Yeah.
He did not see you guys. So you did not have any more encounters of any type during the night. You just hear wolves and ravens from the nearby woods.
So during the night of the long rest, would it be possible to try and gather potion ingredients?
Yeah, you could do that because you're really close to these woods here. So you can make a survival check to see how much you can get.
I didn't get to
That's
use my 20, but 18's still pretty good.
that's just enough. So wait, can you use your divination to give someone else a ability check?
Do what?
Can you use your divination to change someone else's ability check?
I can see.
You could have given him a 20 for his survival.
Yeah.
I can use it to replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check made by me or a creature that I can see
I have
within one
advantage
of these foretelling rolls.
to fighting things.
Okay, so since you're going to lose it anyway, would you like to give him a nat 20 on his survival check?
Yeah, as he's going to search for stuff, I'm gonna be like, no, and I'm gonna point. I'm gonna go over there, and I'm gonna point exactly where I saw my visions, and give him a natural 20.
Okay,
Like as
so
I get up to the, like Swain just goes into this trance state and describes this like particular spot in the woods. Anyway, all right, sweet.
Esmeralda says,
Yeah.
you should try learning the Troika card sometime. You could be a seer. Though normally only women in the Vistani clans are allowed, but we don't have to follow other rules.
A rebel.
Y'all,
What?
I have to step away for just a second, but keep going since I'm dead.
Okay,
You know.
just let me know when you get
I'll,
back.
yeah, I will. Thank you.
So, with a nat 20, you gather enough ingredients for 2 healing potions within just
Okay.
a couple hours.
I guess I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of as I'm gathering, because so for so I've got fifth level spells now. One of the fifth level spells that I can cast is Resurrection,
Mm-hmm.
but the components require where is that? Or sorry, not Resurrection, Reincarnate. Which is Resurrection, except you don't get the same, you don't necessarily get your same body back.
Yeah.
Requires rare oils and ointments worth at least 1,000 gold, which the spell consumes. Is that something I can like find in nature in any capacity, or am I just gonna have to like happen to find it somewhere?
I would say that maybe a small part of it you could be able to find out in nature, but a lot of
Okay.
it would have to be crafted by mages and stuff.
Well, as much as I can, I would like to try to utilize my time while I'm searching for potion ingredients, also to look for things that could be used for that ritual.
Okay,
Because even if I'm not using it now to help Ruby, I might need it later to help somebody else.
make another survival check.
Jeez.
You don't find anything today
Okay.
that would be helpful.
Okay. Well,
So I need. Hang on, let me double check this real quick.
Oh, do you want me to make one of these rolls? Well, I guess I don't know if I have time to do that or not. Actually,
Okay, so yeah. Huh. I'm just gonna randomize this because I don't know what had happened. Okay, here we go. Let's see, where's the characters? I rolled a random person. Uh, Burl, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is it against charm or fear?
Um, Let me check and make sure.
Because it doesn't matter. I rolled a 1 twice.
Oh, well, there you go.
If it's charm or fear, I have advantage, but I rolled 2 natural ones.
Um, your dreams are racked with nightmares, and
Really?
you awaken with 1d10 psychic damage and a level of exhaustion.
Ooh. Okay.
Your nightmares were about, let's see, were about the windmill and snakes and dark space, claustrophobia, lots of different
Yeah.
things.
Ugh.
And you wake up tired. I was
Okay.
trying to figure out if what types of things can pass through the tiny hut. So I just randomized it.
Gross.
So next day, is there anything specific you guys would like to do while you're traveling on the road?
Um, so, but if I wake with a level of exhaustion and know that we're traveling for another day, hang on. And when I wake, I will prepare and cast Greater Restoration and just take, like,
Okay, so that'll remove your exhaustion.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so put you down to 0, so you have no exhaustion.
Okay.
So again, you guys do not have any encounters on the road. Do you want to try to roll to craft one of those health potions?
I do.
I'll say you have to get a 13 instead of a 12 just because you're doing it while riding in a wagon, but not a big
Okay.
difference.
So it's what,
It is herbalism kit, so proficiency and wisdom. So I think it'd be the same as survival. Yep,
Wow.
that's a success. So you get one more regular healing potion. And you can also, if you ever wanted to, have 4 doses together and craft a greater healing potion.
okay.
Um, so yeah, that's one down. Um, I guess nobody else particularly wants to do anything special while you're riding down the road. Um,
I don't think
Hmm.
so. I can't think of
Oh.
anything really.
I will do some ritual casting if you'll let me.
okay. You could also copy some spells into your book.
You can do one thing. You have features that let you craft.
Okay, who would you like to cast that on?
Myself.
Okay, so you are lucky.
So what's going on? Sorry.
He's giving himself luck,
Oh, okay.
and he can. So he basically gets the lucky feat for one day, and he can't get
Okay.
it. He can't get it again for 7 days, but he can give it to other people next time.
Cool. Um. So I can ritual cast commune with nature.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
That's a good one.
Let's see what I can get out of it exactly.
I cast that in Drew's game just the other day.
Wait, what did you cast?
Commune with nature.
Yeah, you did.
Ask you a bunch of weird questions.
Yep, that's right.
Also going to change my infusion from my goggles to my shield.
Okay.
Okay, so you briefly become with nature and gain knowledge of surrounding territory. Length 3 miles to you. Three facts of my choice about any of the following subjects. They relate within 3 miles. Okay. Are there any powerful?
Powerful what? You cut off?
Sorry. Well, I didn't cut off. I just stopped talking.
Oh, okay.
I could have stopped. Powerful Fae within 3 miles.
No.
What about fiends?
Mm, I think you would probably faintly detect the two fiends that were the nightmares. They're out of
Okay.
range, but I felt like it wouldn't instantly drop off. It would kind of like fade off. So I don't think there would be any other fiends that you would pick up.
Okay. And what about undead within 3 miles?
There are there are no powerful undead within 3 miles. There are at least probably 30 to 50 weaker undead within 3 miles.
Okay. Okay. That's what I get for today.
All right. So you guys travel the rest of the day and then you sleep. Tommy, are you going to try to transcribe any spells?
Sure.
It's 2 hours per level of the spell. Unless it's a divination for you, then it's half that.
Okay.
So you'll have like 12 hours probably you could do it with.
Okay.
Dio, roll a perception check.
Okay. I clicked it. It's just going to take it a second.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Well, you kind of doze off for a minute when you're keeping watch at night, and when you kind of come to again, you notice that there are hundreds of ravens all in the trees around in the fields, all
Okay.
around you, kind of just watching you.
Hmm. All right.
And by the time your watch ends, or let's say by the time it's morning, most of the ravens are gone, but there are still quite a few ravens, mostly in the trees, that are still there.
Now, were the ravens like on the ground and stuff too, or
Some were on the ground, just out in the field, like in the grass.
so I could just see just the thousands of tiny little eyes looking at me, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Um, okay.
So I want to do something when Dan gets back. I don't know how long he plans on not being away from computer.
Right.
That's okay. We
There's no
can
telling.
we could probably do it whenever he gets back. It's fine. So when you guys get to the woods here, it's cut off. Um, Esmeralda says that I think I should go to the tower and see if to see if Enrique is okay. He was like a mentor to me. I don't know where he is, but Strahd. I imagine Strahd could probably get into the top of that tower when we couldn't. I don't know what he would find there, but he might find something that would lead him to my mentor. My carriage can't go through those woods, so
Well, have we decided we're not going to go see the Wizard of Wines anymore?
yeah.
Because,
You guys said you're gonna cross through the woods right here.
well, that was originally when I thought we were supposed to be going there because the crows told us to go there, thinking it might help Ruby. But now, aren't we just trying to hightail it to Krezk to get up to the Abbey? Whoa. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. We can go see the Wizard of Wines and separate with her. Or we could just go with her up to the tower because that would be like the second place we would probably be stopping anyway for the night, since it's a 3-day journey.
She plans to come back and try to pick you guys up if you're still there. Like, go up here and then maybe come back this way and try to pick you up.
Okay. Well, that works.
But like the carriage can't go through the woods anyway, so
Yeah. Well then, until we see you again.
I'm gonna send Dan a text to see if he can see what he's up to.
Probably no good.
Okay, so while we're on our before we ended the camp, I wanted to start my infiltration ability or feat, which is to create a false identity for myself.
Oh, okay. So what do you want to disguise as?
Um,
Ruby.
well, basically some kind of just generic type, uh, you know, fighter.
Okay.
But mostly I want to be not identifiable as Ireena to bring less attention.
So a boy.
What? Maybe.
It's 2020.
So you want to like darken your hair and put on some
Um,
weird makeups and stuff like that.
I don't really know what is available to me, but it takes 7 days, and I can create paperwork and letters of introduction, basically to prove that I am this other person.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'll say you could
and
mostly do the physical parts in one day. And as
yeah,
far as paperwork and stuff, you may not ever need that, but if you do, you could start working on it today.
okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Is it takes me 7 days, so I wanted to note that I am starting that process.
All right, I'm back.
If we're going back to the Abbey, him not recognizing
Oh yeah,
you
it
would be
takes
super
25
important.
gold though, and I don't appear to have any gold.
I think the
Well,
gold cost is buying supplies and
you
the,
have a
the
you have a
a big
disguise
cost.
kit, so I'll say all of the physical disguise. You have enough stuff to do that.
Okay.
Plus, if anybody has money, it'd be you. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's pretty
Because,
nice.
like, your family, even though you weren't rich, you definitely had a lot more money than everybody else there.
Okay.
Because your dad was like the mayor.
Right, right, but I just don't have it listed here, so I don't know where what I would
Mm-hmm.
realistically have. Oh, can I just add? How do I decide how much money?
I don't know. It's largely irrelevant here.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna mark it down as day one.
There's a
You
great
don't still
place.
Good old
Oh,
Amber
yeah.
Temple.
He is. It's just a lot quieter than the other one. So on the second night, well, during that time, Ruby, you heard Strahd speak a word in some kind of uh, powerful elder tongue, and everything went black. Sometime later, you don't know how long. Hang on, let me turn this down a little bit on mine. Some you don't know how long, but sometime later, you feel yourself awaken on a cold stone floor. You're in a huge dark room, and there are four pillars around you. With your dark vision, you can see that the walls of this room are covered in amber. This place feels extremely cold, deadly cold. In front of you, you see a 40-foot tall statue of a hooded, robed man. Inside the hood, his face is concealed in complete darkness. As you peer up into the blackness of the statue's face, a sickly green light emanates from where the figure's left eye would be, and the light beams towards you like a spotlight. And then the statue begins to move. The statue slowly reaches a hand toward you, and as the hand extends from the stone sleeve, the hand is not stone. It looks like flesh, rotten flesh. In the palm of this hand is a green eye that's gazing at you. You feel yourself recoil as the statue reaches toward you, and you feel nauseated. You can hear a booming voice fill the room, and while it's extremely loud, it's also a whisper. It says, "Your god has forsaken you, little cleric. I will grant you a secret. Your god can't reach into this realm. Very few gods can." God, the stupid wolves are distracting me again. I played it different. Did the other one? Okay, let me get it to stop. I tried to play a different thing. It didn't work. I don't think this one has wolves. It shouldn't. Okay, so he says, "Your god can't reach into this realm. Very few gods can. None of your divine power came from a god, from your god, nor from the Morning Lord. I'm the only god with a foothold in this domain, but my power here weakens. Dark powers have leaked, and they have corrupted individuals of this realm, especially one. You know him, the Dark Lord, the prince who made a pact with Vampire. It's time I made a pact of my own. If you pledge yourself to me, I will whisper more secrets in your ear, secrets that will grant you the power to destroy your enemy. But before you can challenge him, you must cleanse my temple. There you will find the secrets you need. I intend to be the only dark power in Barovia." The chamber has a still, dead cold, but suddenly a huge amber door behind you slams open, and freezing wind blows into the room. Snow begins to blow around you in a cyclone. A huge flock of ravens lands on top of this giant statue, completely covering it from your sight. Millions of black feathers swirl around you in the blizzard. In the swirling shadow that surrounds you, you can see the silhouette of a figure. It's a slender woman, hooded, with a dress that reaches to the ground. She begins to speak to you in a feminine voice that is much quieter than the earlier voice. She says, "The Whisperer speaks truth. I can barely reach into this realm. This is a realm of death and shadow. Only beings of death and shadow can touch this place. But not all of us are evil. The Whisperer can grant you forbidden secrets that will bring you great power. All I can grant you is the power to peek beyond the veil. Help me send the innocent souls of this realm to rest. We must help them find the fate that they were denied long ago." You can feel your soul being pulled apart. At the time of your death, these two patrons of death and shadow have stepped in to give you another chance, but you can only bind your soul to one. The first entity, the One-Eyed Whisperer, his domains are death, knowledge, and arcane, and the woman's domains are grave, twilight, and winter. Now you have to choose if you want to devote yourself to one of these two forces, or allow your soul to pass on into the prison of spirits in Barovia.
Can I ask these beings any questions, or does it seem like it's a one-way conversation that they're just sending me?
It is a one-way conversation, but I will show you the conversation in case you need to refer to it.
Yeah.
And if you would like, you can ask other players to give you input, but their characters don't know anything that's happening. But
Right, right.
So the Whisperer's realm is death and shadow. Only beings of death and shadow can touch this place, but not all
yeah,
of us are evil.
they're both patrons of death and shadow.
Anybody got anything to say?
I mean, as a player, I think the Grave Domain is pretty cool.
I mean,
It seems,
yeah, I don't.
it
Either
seems
way,
that the second one, the woman, seems to be motivated to send souls to peace, to the rest. And the first one seems to be an enemy of Strahd, but he doesn't. He seems to be more selfish.
Definitely
Seems like
true.
But he also seems
the
to be more
first guy.
powerful.
Seems like the Whisper guy. His plan is not necessarily to defeat Strahd, but to usurp him. You know, to send Strahd packing so he can be the new Dark Lord.
Right.
Yeah,
Which seems less up Ruby's alley.
but the first one seems to be more powerful. He says he has a foothold in this domain.
Oh, sure.
So it depends on which way you want to go.
Yeah, the one, it almost sounds like there's a risk of not beating Strahd with the one and the other one saying, like, with me, he could accomplish beating Strahd. I don't know if
Right.
that's
He
the
said
best
that
thing, or
he said that Strahd made a pact with Vampire, and he wants to make a pact of his own. So he wants to make you powerful like Strahd.
Right.
But
trying to think if Ruby would be angry enough at Strahd to do anything to get him dead and protect friends from his power.
The
Like,
second one claims that she's not evil. That's not necessarily true, but it depends on how that would affect Ruby's motivation.
I feel
Right.
like Ruby would think the only one that's really not evil is, the god of light and stuff. And
Right.
the first one pretty much claimed that god is not here.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the woman said that he speaks truth, so she agreed with him that these gods of light can't reach into this realm.
well, I have my choice. If nobody else has anything they would like to say, I'm open to more discussion about it. If anyone wants to give, maybe Ruby can hear you from beyond in some regard.
I mean, I think Dio would, if he were put in the same position, would probably refuse both and pass on.
Use the shorts.
But at the same time, I understand the dilemma because Dio at this point is probably geared more towards vengeance against Strahd, and I don't know, he might be tempted.
I'm probably tempted to
Take-
save everybody too.
I think
Yeah.
that's the thing that Ruby would think about. Like, if I
Right.
do nothing and I'm free to do nothing at this point in
You
one
are.
regard, but my soul is trapped here. It's not like I'm beyond this, realm.
Right.
I'm stuck
Mhm.
here, and in 20 years I could have to repeat being an adult and
Yep.
watching more people I love die or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, no. Yeah. It's a fucked up situation.
And you guys pretty much
Um.
already figured out that Strahd brings powerful people here from beyond the mist because he wants powerful souls in his realm.
Yep.
So yeah,
well,
maybe depending on the situation, maybe Dio would have taken the deal with the Whisperer. Either that or I don't know. That's a tough one. Hmm.
I think
Therefore, you are.
I think I'd go with the more power. I think if it's like if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go with as much firepower as I can bring to Strahd,
Yeah.
or not do it at all. Because if I'm going to forsake who I was in order to save other people, I'm going to try whatever I can. Not like, oh well, if I'm gonna break a vow, if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be all the way. It's not gonna be like a half-hearted, like, well, I didn't want to go, you know, too much. This person promised me I wouldn't, and so I can't trust that one's worse than the other from a conversation.
Mm.
Yep.
You really can't. You can't trust either of them, honestly.
So I'm going to go with the uh, one-eyed, green-eyed god. I
The
closed
Whisperer.
out
Okay.
the document. What is it?
So you can choose any of his domains: death, knowledge, or
Right.
arcane. Arcana, whichever it is.
I am going to choose death.
I kind of figured.
So that'll
She's
give you
not
some.
the most arcana knowledge.
Right.
That'll give you some interesting abilities and spells.
So it's changing Ruby's domain.
Yep.
It does. Well, you were just a war cleric, right? Before.
Yes,
Okay.
Ruby was a war domain, just a war cleric. I was a fucking badass war cleric.
Now you're a death cleric. You can
Death domain
raise
has
zombies
now
and
been.
shit. So all of you wake up to a screaming from inside the wagon. And whenever you open the door to the wagon, you can see Ruby alive. You can see she has her skin's pale and she has streaks of white in her hair, like parts of her hair dyed. And she still has the holy symbol of Ravenkind around her neck, but her normal holy symbol is different. It's like it transformed somehow. And her new holy symbol looks like that symbol. It looks
Oh,
exactly the same as the symbol on the book that Swain
yep.
found.
Hmm.
Yep.
The Magic the Gathering symbol.
It's,
Yeah.
there's some similarities.
Bless me, thank you. Well, I'm gonna show him the spells that are in it that are cleric spells that they could copy and use. Like divination, augury, those types of.
How
And
how is this possible? Anyway, go on.
it's up to you to how much of you want to share with the other characters.
Right.
Do I look the same or do I look different or
Well,
do I look like I'm like what I'm saying is I've been dead. Do I look like I'm still kind of dead or is there life to my features and stuff like that?
You're not undead, but you're pretty close. You
He
definitely
said you
look
were
like you could
pale and had
go.
like white streaks in your hair, and
right.
Yep.
so
But
he
it's
said you'd be
obvious I'm
okay.
alive. I look and I see Dio. I'm like, Dio. And I look around and I look at the other people and I'm just kind of like in a daze, like what's going on here? What's happening? Like the world looks different to me in some way.
Yeah, Dio
And
is
I
just flabbergasted and confused.
and I feel different.
And you have no idea how much time has passed. It's been 2 days, but to you it was like 5 minutes or two
What?
minutes.
If he is loyal, oh, I'll ask you. I'll say, do you serve Strahd?
I look at you like, why the hell would you ask me that question? I'm just like, no.
What?
Well, I don't know if I can believe this guy or not because I rolled a 5 on my insight.
What? I don't understand, Ruby. How are you alive? I- What happened?
I saw something when was I was in a room and I saw something and it talked to me and it asked me if I wanted power to destroy Strahd. And I kind of like look at my hands and I'm kind of like feeling that I'm different. Like I feel like I don't know how to I've lost something, but I've also there's things that I now know that I never knew before. Cantrips and spells that I'm just kind of like I know I didn't know these things, but now I feel like I could do these things.
Feel like the connection you had to uh, God you served when you came here is broken.
Can you say that again? I could barely hear you.
You feel like the connection you had to the God you served when you arrived here in Barovia. You feel like that's broken.
It doesn't feel any different than when I arrived here in Barovia. The connection to the God that I serve, but something's different.
Dio's gonna cast Divine Sense.
It's like there's something else there,
Dio,
and I
you
don't
can
know if it's my god.
Dio, you can feel a kind of sickening feeling of necromancy around, but um, Ruby's not undead, so she doesn't set off your divine sense.
I don't understand exactly what happened. I feel like certain necromancy might be involved, but you you do seem to be alive, at least.
I was asked whether I wanted to be alive or not. I know something like that. And I was asked if I wanted power that could possibly help us destroy Strahd. And I don't know. I kind of like grab my head. It's
Fuzzy.
like a dream. It's like it's there, but it's not there. I'm trying to grasp it.
Hmm.
And it definitely when I don't feel the life like I used to. Like I feel different in a way.
Do
I
you
don't like
feel
this.
dissatisfied with where you are? With the situation you find yourself?
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think dissatisfied's the word. It's definitely something I'm not used to, but I feel like more of what this land is, the undead around and everything like that, I feel like I understand more of this land in a way.
hmm.
Where are we?
Barovia.
Oh, I know Barovia, but where are we? The last thing I remember was Strahd saying something when I tried to attack him.
Am I familiar with the spell that he cast?
Which spell?
Power word kill.
Make an Arcana check.
We were on the way to take you to try to
Good lord. Rolled a
bring you
2.
back from the dead.
Ooh, let me mute that so you don't have to hear more dogs bark.
um, you're pretty sure that Strahd cast a extremely high level spell, but you've never heard of it.
I'm gonna tell him that. And I'll tell you that. You are dead. Gone. Unrevivable.
Or so we thought, anyway. We were going to take you to the abbot, see if he could perhaps resurrect you.
Can you still pray? Find some answers?
You can try to pray if you want.
I think he may still be muted.
Oh,
Hold on real quick. Dylan just got home.
okay,
Sorry. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
okay. So anything the rest of you guys want to do?
Um, can't think of anything.
I mean,
Um,
other than being surprised, I can't think of much that Dio would do.
Yeah.
hmm.
Well, yeah, I guess you're welcome to. You guys are all welcome to look at that text and speculate, but the only thing your characters know would be anything that he would tell you.
Well,
I kind of expected him to pick the other one, actually,
Me too.
I
The one that was like kind of good.
I was
Yeah,
hoping he
right.
would pick this one, but I expect him to
Well,
pick the other one.
you got your wish.
all right. Well, on the one hand, it makes me grateful that we don't have to go back to see that abbot. I don't know that that would have been a pleasant endeavor.
All right, I'm back. I heard you say try to pray. Was that for me?
Well, I
Well,
asked if
someone
you could
said,
still pray.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll I will try to commune, and as I'm saying the name of my god of war out loud, it is not his name that comes, and it's a different name that comes out of my mouth. Like subconsciously, I'm no longer talking to my god of war when I pray. Like my mind has already switched over to a different deity. Do I know the name of the deity in a way that a name that people would understand, or would the name make any sense to any characters here?
It has a name, but you don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
you can feel their presence and their power for sure.
When that happens and he says some different stuff, can I make a religion check to see if I can figure out what's going on?
Sure. Um.
Well, that's a pretty high religion score.
Yeah,
I got a +8, dog.
I was thinking it would probably take a 20. You're from the Forgotten Realms, right?
Yes, and I've traveled up and down the Sword Coast and through the center, like to further to the east, and the whole time I've basically been studying like religion and the undead and
We
horrors
get
and
it. You're
supernatural.
cool.
No, that's my whole thing.
No, I'm kidding.
Religion and arcana, that's it.
Don't have to brag about it.
You've heard legends of a powerful lich lord from long ago who could travel between different worlds and accumulated forbidden knowledge. And some speculate that he was the one that invented lichdom in the first place. And he supposedly had hidden caches of secrets all over in different worlds everywhere. And he was betrayed and killed by his lieutenant. And after he was destroyed, somehow he had set in motion some types of rituals that allowed him to ascend as a god. And he's speculated to be a lesser god of some type. And his most famous book, as well as a few other things, are legendary artifacts. Uh, his name was Vecna, and his lieutenant was named Kos, and the Sword of Kos is what killed him, and that's supposed to be a legendary item. But there's also a lot of speculation about the Hand of Vecna and the Eye of Vecna that are incredibly powerful but corrupting evil items that have popped up here and there in histories in different places. And
Gotcha.
no one is totally sure if he was real or if he actually ascended to be a god or if he has any kind of power at all. No one really knows. But I would say with the 20, you would probably have heard of him because he would have
Okay.
because people that are very knowledgeable in the Forgotten Realms would know who he is. So I would say you probably could with the 20. That sounds a lot like the figure that Ruby's talking about.
Okay.
And in
Well,
fact,
dang,
the symbol, if you look at it, looks kind of like the hand and eye of Vecna.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dang, I was just hoping, like, be like, oh, you kind of get the feeling that another deity has intervened in his behalf and made a pact with him or something.
Well, yeah, I mean that too.
That's what I was thinking, maybe. But yeah, okay, cool. Dope. Well, I will reveal to him that it seems as though, in whatever state he was in, another deity has come along to align with him. That I feel like I have a good idea, or at least have heard of that deity, but can't not
Just so you
100%
guys
pretty sure.
know, Dylan was telling me, and I just got a text also. 6:30 is shut down right now. A bunch of protesters are walking down 6:30, and there's protesters at the Capitol.
Yeah,
And Dylan was saying that there's a bunch of social media stuff going on telling people to go protest at the outlet malls. And I'm kind of like, outlet malls is a weird place to do a protest. That sounds like a good place to smash and grab, but that's a
Yeah,
weird place
I
to
they're
protest
probably
there.
hoping that shit gets real so they can try to steal some stuff. But
that'd be
if it's social media, then that's yeah, I wouldn't trust that.
gotta
But I
be
do know
that.
that they're marching and protesting at the Capitol.
I doubt it's going to be as violent in Arkansas as it is up there. So
Well, they've already this like they were surrounding the White House yesterday,
Right.
and it's happening all over. So
No, yeah, it's happening across the U.S. at this point.
but
yeah, I
yeah,
don't plan on going to Little Rock anytime soon.
yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
So
Okay.
I don't think you mentioned anything about those gods telling you that the gods of light can't reach into this realm. So
No,
I would
I did not. That's it all to me I assumed it was all kind of like a dream where bits and pieces of it, make sense and bits and pieces of it kind of fade in and out.
might be something that Ruby might choose not to say to Dio. Maybe depends though. She might tell him. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, you all can wield holy power, so you have no idea if it's true or not. So, uh, um, this is the blessing that you get for making a pact with that god. I can probably add it as a feat if you want on your D&D Beyond, but I'll put it under loot.
Sure.
So, after everybody finishes freaking out over Ruby coming back to life and all that, um, you guys can, after a couple more hours of travel, set off into the woods to try to cross over if that's what you still want to do.
Well, I mean, the whole reason we turned around was to come and rescue her. So are we going to try to go back to Mount Gacus?
Or the wizard.
I mean, we can go to the wizard while we're here since it's just like we're already there.
Mm-hmm. So,
Um,
is that what you guys want to do?
I guess. And then Ireena or uh, Isabella or whatever is going to head up to the tower.
Esmeralda's gonna go see if she can find anything out about Van Richten, and then she's gonna try to come back and pick you guys up
Okay.
on the other side.
Well, that sounds fine to me. I think that if there's anybody I trust so far, other than the people that I'm here with, it's the crows
Yeah.
or ravens. Sorry.
So as you guys set off into the woods.
So as we set off into the woods,
Mm-hmm.
I want to cast Pass Without Trace before we move off into the wood.
Sure.
So as to hopefully avoid much of the hassle that we might encounter in there.
Let me play some forest music, I guess.
What is my health at right now, by the way?
You should have had a long rest.
Okay. So yeah, a very long rest.
Yep. Slept
I
like
just
the
didn't know
dead.
if it was like, no, you're just back from the dead, you're at 5.
Slept like the dead. So let me see here. How far is this? 3 miles. It's not bad. So uh, I guess Burl would be the one. You can make a survival check to try to guide the guide everyone through the woods without encountering any bad shit or getting lost. Yeah, easily. Um, as you guys are walking about an hour in the woods, um, you hear a voice from up high that says, "Psst, hey, hey, over here."
I guess I'll look up.
Okay. Well,
You see
what do we see?
a guy sitting in a tree limb. It looks like a younger guy with dark hair, and there's ravens perched up in the trees with him, all around him. And he
So
says, "Hey, wait,
okay.
wait!" And he starts climbing down the tree.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys want to do?
I ask him if he is an ally of Strahd.
He says, "No, no, no, hang on, hang on." He's just climbing down the tree. It's like he's having trouble. And he gets to the bottom, and he kind of dusts himself off, and he comes up, and looks you all over, like kind of. He just says, "I saw, I saw what you guys did, or heard. I heard what you guys did at the old bone grinder. You killed those horrible witches."
2 of them. One's still alive.
There's not very many people that my family can trust here in Barovia, but uh, my father, when he heard about what you did, he it sounded like he wanted to speak with you. He's been looking for someone like you for a while.
Who's your father?
My father's Davian Mardukov. He runs the Wizard of Wines. Uh, my family are we try to lay low, but we try to do the best we can to help people survive this horrible place. That's why we give wine to all the cities for free. It helps people.
Kresk hasn't gotten their wine in a minute, though. They're
Yeah, you
late.
see,
And
the 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 reason why uh, my dad was interested in you is because you guys killed the witches at the old bone grinder. Well, there's have any of you heard of let me make sure I get her name right. Hang on. Have any of you heard of Baba La Saga?
Have we?
Food?
Uh, Ireena can roll uh, history, and I'll say you can have advantage because there's not all that much history in this place. Um, you haven't heard of Baba La Saga, but you do know that Baba is a Vistani term for mother. He says there's this horrible woman. She lives down in the swamps where Berez used to be. It's not far from that windmill. She's been sending scarecrows and bursts. They've been attacking my family, and she's been killing all the ravens. All the ravens that get close. Sometimes there's horrible things that come out of the swamps. We're missing one of the magical gems that helps us grow our vineyard, and we all think that she's probably the one that's taken it. I don't know what her problem is, but
What can you tell me about these magical gems?
there's old legends that the winery here was started by a wizard a long time ago, and he imbued power in these gems to help the grapes grow. This was hundreds, maybe 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The place we live in now was built maybe, I think my father's father, but the winery in general has been around for a very long time.
Okay.
I don't know much else about the gems, but some of our grapes have started dying, and when we checked, one of the gems that was buried has been dug up. That's
Hmm.
why we haven't got our shipments out. And some of my siblings and stuff that drive the carts to deliver the wine have been attacked by weird things on the roads, weirder than normal even.
Well,
Were
So
you
you want us to go retrieve this thing for you? Is that what you're?
were you where were you guys going, by the way?
Uh,
well, we came into these woods to pass through them to actually head to the Wizard of Wine's location. Uh,
Well, I'll show you the
so,
way. My father will be happy to see you.
well, that sounds quite nice.
He says, "Come, come," and a bunch of ravens flutter out of the tree and start flying overhead and hopping around in the trees and stuff. And Burl, you would be aware that he seems to have the ability to speak with animals like a druid might,
Right?
which is unusual, but because you didn't see him cast a spell.
so, how do you feel about Strahd?
We all hate Strahd. My family has helped people that have tried to fight Strahd many times before. We don't
And how did they try to help?
we
They gave free wine.
we don't have warriors, but we do the best we can to help people without bringing Strahd's wrath down on our family. We try to help in secret ways. We have spies in Vallaki and Barovia and Barovia Village and Kresk.
Information. Awesome. So
That's
that's how you tried to help defeat him, helped other people defeat him.
information and wine are the things that we're best at.
So do you happen to have information on how we could
If
permanently rid this land of Strahd?
well, first we should get out of the woods because there's wolves everywhere.
Well, I mean, we're walking, right? I figured like we're just conversing while he's showing us the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, you are.
I just like that comment of the wolves because of the background
Yeah, well,
noise.
there really are wolves everywhere in this place. So
We
Yeah.
can kill wolves. That ain't no problem.
I mean, presumably,
Wait.
since I would bother to cast a spell that we would be trying to move through here as stealthily as possible, unnoticed.
Yeah, and it's nothing has so far noticed you except for the guy, but
Mm-hmm.
um,
So, yeah, Burl.
Yes.
I mean, I think you know that my main priority is to put an end to Strahd and get us home. Um,
get
are
this
you
home.
able to help them with their whole dying grape
Adrian.
problem without us having to go find some chick at a swamp and go through a bunch of crap? Did I just get disconnected?
I don't know. I think maybe I did or something, or
Oh,
somebody did.
Yeah,
I'm
someone
here.
got disconnected.
Sherry,
Yeah, someone.
you here?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swain, I heard you say Burl, and then I heard nothing else.
okay. So either I
Maybe
cut out or you
Groovy
cut
got
out.
disconnected.
Well, what I was saying is, I think that you know that my main priority is to get rid of Strahd and get us back home.
Right.
And so I'm like trying to do that as quick as possible. So I'm wondering if you could potentially help these people with their dying grapes problem, much like you helped the people in Kresk, so that maybe we don't have to go find some old lady at a swamp and find a thing to help them get their grapes back.
Well, my inclination is that I can help, but I won't really know until I get there and can really get a sense of it.
Cool.
It starts raining softly. You're getting closer to the end of these woods, and Burl, you spot first. It looks like there's a swath of woods here that have just kind of been torn out, like a giant bear or something has just plowed through here. And it seems to be going in the same direction that you guys are going. It's about 50 yards to your right.
Okay. Well, we're headed that way, so I will point that out to this guy. Did he introduce himself?
I don't know if he did. He says his name's Adrian. Adrian Mardikov. And when
I'll point. Yo, Adrian. No. Hey, there's a bit of a looks to be some sort of game trail in your woods over here. Something quite large. Do you know what might have caused that?
he just says, "Oh no, we have to hurry," and he starts running.
Well,
Do you all follow him?
I was looking for, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
He says, "I don't know what that is, but it's something bad from the woods. She's been sending things from the woods."
Everything in the woods is bad.
I need everybody to roll athletics check just to see if you have the stamina to run far enough.
All right.
Yo, Adrian.
Go, Adrian.
I either kind of can or I really can.
So,
Might be
hold
opposite.
up.
There, Dan. I either kind of can't or definitely can't.
Yeah.
Wait, did you tell us to roll with advantage or no?
No, mine just comes up with advantage when I roll. It
Okay.
shows that as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use my portent and make that an 18.
Okay. If you rolled below a 10 or below an 11, make a Constitution saving throw.
Ugh. Now when you gotta click over.
I'm just all really bad. Because I don't like to run.
Did we cut out again?
No.
No, you're there.
Okay. Nobody said anything for a minute.
I feel like a point of exhaustion might be too much for just running.
If I feel like if I feel like I'm starting to fall behind and I'm having trouble like keeping up, I would probably like change into something more dexterous and agile to try and run through here.
Okay, you
To
can
try
do
and get,
that.
like I can just. So I am going to. Uh, I guess when Ireena and I seem to be falling behind the group, I'm gonna wild shape into a direwolf, and before I change, I'm gonna call it to Ireena and say, "Get on," and I'm just gonna change into a direwolf.
Okay. Yeah, that'll definitely solve the problem. I was thinking about having you guys affected by the slow spell as to like simulate being tired, but no, that'll work. So use your wild shape and you guys get there. Dio, I think Dio gets there first.
Yep.
You can see this big uh, vineyard with a. It has 2 stories, and you can see the actual vineyard part out back, and there's different parts of this building that look like they're for like processing wine and stuff like that. Part of it's like the living area. It's like a wooden kind of house. It's nicer than some of the houses you've seen, but you can also see what looks like a tree attacking this house, and around it are about 7 figures that are moving strangely like zombies. And when you get closer, they're not actually zombies. They look like animated scarecrows, and they are attacking this house.
We are experienced at hunting scarecrows.
Except these ones are actual scarecrows, not zombies disguised as scarecrows. Okay, Esmeralda's not here, so I'll delete her. Actually, you probably should put your new tokens right because you guys leveled up.
Whoa.
Internet's going out, but everybody's sounding weird right now.
Yep, everyone was.
Yeah,
Okay.
it seems to be okay now, right?
Right this moment, yeah.
Just a lag spike, I guess.
Oh,
It's the protesters.
It's the protesters. So, um,
So can
did
everybody
I get
see
a
now?
did we get a long rest anywhere in that? Was it all just
Yes.
short rest? Like, huh?
Yes, you did get a long rest.
Okay.
Hey, Dio, did you like get up and run across the room to talking to you? Like, you sound like you're super far away.
No,
He
I
sounds
haven't.
great for me. So
Yeah, same here. I mean, it sounds normal to me anyway.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a
Wait,
second.
did
Wait.
your like
My
speaker
my
go off?
my thing messed up.
It's just
you actually
Um,
sound better now, Joe. So I don't know if you're closer or not.
it's like your speaker phone went off or something.
Hang on.
Because it sounds like it's just in the phone.
Yep.
Well, I
Somebody
guess
say
I'll
something.
I'll go ahead and take a long rest.
Yeah, you can mark that on your character sheet. I don't know if
Good.
Ruby has or not, but it shows on here she has 9 HP. I don't know if that's right, but
No, I'm at 72 on my D&D Beyond, or not D&D Beyond. Yeah, D&D Beyond. So let me change that on here.
All right, looks like Joe and Sherry are off right now.
yeah, I think they're resetting.
Oh, there they go.
They might try to rejoin. Maybe they're trying to fix it.
They are. Yeah, they're trying to fix
so
it.
it cut out because since I'm on my phone, it just cut from being on the speakerphone to being on the normal earpiece, so it made everything super quiet all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Here we are.
This is a situation.
Let me get these horses out of the way.
Okay.
There's horses in the stable for some reason. They're not going to be in this combat. So I assume you guys don't run away. I assume you're going to help. So
Yeah, we will.
Oh yeah, I want to do like I would. I already drew it. I don't know if you can see my drawing.
So you guys can roll initiative.
Doesn't look like anything got added except for that big tree.
What happened?
No,
Well,
I see
I
a
forgot to
bunch of
clear it.
guys. Maybe your dark vision is clouding it.
No, no,
or,
no, no, no. I'm talking about the
Hold
turn
on.
order.
Oh,
I forgot
hold
to
up.
I forgot to clear it. Let me redo it.
Yeah, let him redo it.
I have to select. Hold on.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
So
Now,
All right.
let me go ahead. Now I'll roll initiative.
Okay, I will too.
Let me fix you guys. Ireena rolled a 24.
Oh wait, do I? Oops.
No, you don't have to roll again. I'll just fix it on here.
Okay.
Mine's
Well,
right, because I rolled 3, and that's what it says.
God. Okay.
Roll a 3. Damn. Theo, did you get a 3?
I did get a 3.
Damn. 3 of us got 3s.
What?
Did my roll didn't show up yet? Has it? Okay, let me click it again.
you can see mine say 3.
What's that?
When I did it, it says you wanted to send a result to the tracker, but no valid token was selected.
Yeah, you got
Oh, and then there's one underneath it. Okay.
You gotta click and select your token while you're rolling initiative.
Well, yeah, and I apparently rolled a 3, but I
Oh.
didn't see that it rolled a 3,
Yeah.
and I just saw that error message.
What?
right.
Another 3.
No.
How is that even possible? Okay.
That is ridiculous.
Now, I technically rolled a 3.14, so that
You
means a lot. That's like 4 places.
Like,
You've got pie, my friend. Okay.
One of the scarecrows also rolled a 3. So there you go.
What the fuck is happening?
Well,
Everybody's dead before we get to go. So,
Yeah.
Ireena, you get to
Wait.
go first.
can I
Yeah.
use my luck? Can I use a luck roll to reroll initiative, or does it not work on initiative?
Yeah, you can. I think. Go ahead. I assume you
there
can.
should be, like, because of the tiebreaker things, like Swain, Dan, Burl.
And can I use that second? I'll use one of my luck things, and I'll just use that second initiative roll I did.
Okay.
Sure.
Then
Boop.
But, as always,
I mean, rolling 3.14 was pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
Was.
the pie roll.
Infinite roll.
But yeah, as always, Ireena gets to go first.
Right. My roll 20 is loading, so I can't see the screen at all.
Oh, okay.
it's maybe go back to the and just refresh the page.
It'll
Okay.
load
I did.
eventually.
Well, I
will.
did. It's still not here. It's just.
Weird.
Gathering steam. It's going through everything. But
Yeah, it's
turning
like
on.
it just
It's
says loading and it's not doing anything.
Yeah,
So
I have already
Here.
tried to reload it. I don't know what the deal
you
is.
can just
Okay. Is that an N?
it is a giant, enormous tree creature. Is this roughly to scale, like our character token versus the monster token?
The tree is probably 30, 40 feet tall.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Its size out might be because the limbs go out so far. Not really. That's how.
Anybody
Yeah.
have a giant axe?
I don't think anybody has an axe.
Yeah.
So attack that one.
Trees are afraid of axes.
Go left.
Shooting.
Is that a real thing? I did not know that. That living trees would be afraid of axes.
Wouldn't
Well,
you
they're
be?
offended by them, you know, if you've watched Lord of the Rings or read the book.
Tree ants, man?
Tree ants, yeah.
Um,
no tree.
so
am a tree.
I guess I'm gonna close in on the nearest guy here. I've got a speed of 30.
Okay, do you want me to move you?
Sure.
Um, yeah, do you want to do your cunning action and move again?
Yeah, I'll move in close, within
Okay.
5 feet.
Do you want to go up to this guy or which one? The big guy?
Big guy or scarecrow.
Let's go for the big guy.
Alright, there you go.
And I will attack with my rapier.
Go ahead and make a stealth check to see
Oh.
if it notices you.
+10 because of pass without trace.
That's true, that
I
is
assume
still
we're-
up, so it didn't notice you, so you get sneak attack. So we make sure it doesn't
Good.
resist some kind of resistance. Surely not.
Yep.
It's a magic weapon.
What's this building made out of?
Unless it's
Wood.
immune to surprise, the assassin trait's going to give her automatic critical hit.
It is. It does have blind sight, but that doesn't mean it necessarily notices everything. So yeah,
Right.
you'll get an automatic crit.
Okay.
But you already rolled it.
So that'll
Right.
double.
But I will attack again.
Well, you had to use your bonus action.
Oh, okay.
You don't
Well
roll.
then.
But
So it'll be
so she already rolled the attack.
46 plus 6. 54, 52. 52 damage. That's a pretty good first hit.
Yep.
Slash some of the roots away.
It definitely noticed you now. Okay, a woman's
I made
gonna run out of here and it's like, oh my god, we're getting attacked again. And she's gonna shoot this
Again.
scarecrow with her hand crossbow and hit for 7 damage. And now it's Swain's turn.
Okay, so I'm trying to move this thing and it's hard to move.
Here's load.
Is it showing it?
Which thing?
I see it.
I'm trying to move this drawing that I did.
Oh, the square?
Yeah. Won't let me select any. Try to well, let me delete it. So,
Okay.
Or maybe you can just click.
so actually, I'm gonna try to do. I think this is it, right? No, I can't measure distance. Crap. Let me get my ruler. Okay, yeah. I'm targeting right there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Goodness. That was a nightmare.
Alright, what are you gonna do? Oh, fireball, okay.
So that way
And-
we'll hit all 4 of those guys.
You're gonna try to do it where it doesn't hit Ireena?
Yeah. I
She
think
has-
that if it's,
She has evasion, but still.
I think this square right here that I'm targeting is 20 feet away from all of them, but 25 feet away from Ireena.
I think fireball's 30, right? Or is it 20? Maybe it is 20.
Let's see.
It's 20.
20.
Okay, so yeah, you won't hit her. So let me make some dex saves. That's it's not supposed to be public, but one of them gets a critical success. 2 of them succeeded. Wait, there's only 3 scarecrows. Never mind.
Scarecrows in a tree.
You roll for the giant thing. It failed. Um, the
I don't know
scarecrows
how.
are vulnerable to fire damage. So
And that was a crappy. I rolled a 2, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 3, a 4, 5, 6.
so 2 of them explode into flames and just are disintegrated. And one of them takes. One of them, the one that saved, is almost dead too, because he's vulnerable to fire damage. And the tree also takes 28 fire damage. Whoops. Uh, Hang on, I messed up his HP. Let me try to fix it. Okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty rough. He's looking bloodied, maybe. Close to it. So, this scarecrow here is almost dead. And then these 2 are both incinerated. And now it's the tree blight's turn. He definitely noticed you guys. He's gonna move down here. He's not gonna leave. He's not gonna leave opportunity attack range or whatever. He's going to uh, try to grasp Ireena with grasping root. That's a 20 to hit on Ireena and a 22 to hit on Swain with grasping root.
Oh man, my armor class is 21.
Ooh, barely.
Oh, wait, but I do have. Yeah, I have my. No, I don't have that crap. Okay. Uh,
So you guys are both grappled.
can I use my? So does that one? Does he have to make a separate attack against each of us?
Yeah, they were separate attacks.
Okay.
It was a 20 and a 22 on his 2 attacks.
Okay. So can I go ahead and use my other portent and make the attack against me a 5?
Sure.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, you can change his attack roll to a 5.
Okay.
It'll be a
Go ahead and
5
do that.
plus 9.
Okay, yeah,
So
then that
that'll
definitely
miss
won't hit.
you. Yeah.
If I get grappled, I'm screwed. I have no strength.
And then after you did it, you kind of grabbed it.
And it's gonna use it's gonna wallop Swain with its branch, with a 26 to hit,
Will hit.
and
Will do.
it's too far to reach you guys. So Swain, you take 20 bludgeoning damage.
Said 26.
26 to hit.
Okay.
And 20 bludgeoning damage is how much damage the smack did. The grasping attack didn't do any damage; it just grappled you.
Well, I'd rather take the damage than get grappled.
I guess he's going to use his branch attack on Adrian, and I think he missed. No, he hit. Adrian is basically bloodied in one shot by a big. It's basically the Whomping Willow now, or Whomping Willow from Harry Potter.
That's what I was thinking of.
Just knocks the shit out of him, and it's grabbed Ireena. It makes 4 attacks, and then it can use its bonus action to bite attack against someone that hits grappled. So it's going to try to bite Ireena. It's going to have advantage on the attack. 22 to hit should hit Ireena.
Yeah.
So that's 20 damage to Ireena, piercing damage. And you can use your reaction to cut it in half with that one thing.
Yeah. To half it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number what? Number
Uh,
10.
yeah. Divide 20.
Hit damage.
Dio, make a wisdom saving throw. As this scarecrow just comes running at you, flailing.
Wait, where's the scarecrow?
It's this one up here. It's using its terrifying glare on you.
Okay.
So you need to make
Okay.
a wisdom saving throw. And your aura. Let me turn on your aura. For some reason, I think you guys can't see the auras, but
Oh,
yeah, you're fine.
I'm fine.
Nice.
Um, this one's gonna come at you guys. It's gonna use its terrifying glare on Swain. So Swain, you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Hey, crit.
You're fine. You're not scared of these scarecrows.
What the
We've
fuck?
seen way other things. These aren't even scarecrows. They're more like not scared crows.
Ooh.
Dang.
Um, Adrian, Joe Adrian, he's gonna attack with his sword. Try to cut this thing's branches that are swinging around and knocking the shit out of him. And he hit with both attacks. He only did 10 damage, but it helps. This scarecrow is going to come and attack Ireena with his claws. And he got a crit fail, so he did not hit you. The tree's got its branch wrapped around you and is flinging you around, and the scarecrow tried to claw you and it just missed.
Well,
Uh, Ruby, make a wisdom saving throw. This scarecrow is going to try to scare you. See if you roll
scare you.
another nat 20.
Bitch,
Jesus.
you gonna scare me?
I mean, we're just getting all of our crits out of the way so you can murder us later.
Yeah. While you're doing that, this guy's going to come out. Old looking guy comes out. You still
Ha!
you still succeeded.
I just love that it's a 12 or a 30.
You needed an 11, so you're fine.
I've seen worse.
This old guy comes out. And he's just like, well, not again.
Again.
He's gonna shoot his hand crossbow and miss. His
Shoot
hands
it at what?
at a scarecrow, and his hands are too
Okay.
shaky. Just like, all right, Burl, your turn. Make a wisdom saving throw.
My turn to make a wisdom saving
Yep.
throw.
Yeah, we're on 3.13. And now we're at 3.1.
You succeeded. You guys aren't scared of these things, and now it's Burl's turn. And actually,
Okay.
Ruby would have got a +2 on her saving throw anyway. So
Alright.
everybody
And
within 10
it's
feet of DL get a +2 to their saving throws.
Oh, sorry.
But you got it either way.
Okay, so alright. I'm going to move. I can move it 50 feet in this form.
So you know, I am about to fireball all those scarecrows again. So if you get up in there, you're gonna have to dodge fireball.
I'm gonna come up here.
What does the dodge fireball go off of? Dexterity,
Dexterity.
or? Okay.
You guys are fine, but if you come up here to my left, you'll be in danger.
Well, his direwolf would soak up the damage anyway. So
That's true. But I'm just saying.
I'm gonna run up here, but then I'm going to let's see. Drop the direwolf form to cast a moonbeam
Okay, where do you want to put it?
I want to put it like right here.
Just right in the middle of that guy?
Yep, just right in the middle of his business. 5 foot cylinder, 40 feet high,
Yep, he's not getting out of that.
for 3d10 damage. He needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Does he do it at the beginning of his turn?
It's when it first affects him and at the beginning of his turn.
Okay.
Think. Let's see. When a creature enters the area for the first time on its turn or starts its turn there. First time on it. When it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. So.
Okay. So it would be at the beginning of its turn when it gets affected. But if it chooses to move into it, then it could get hit twice. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to work.
Okay, so it doesn't hit it right away. Got it.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Okay. Alright, and then having seen this thing, like, whip the shit out of Swain a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and blast off 2 shots of this Balm of the Summer Court. So you get, I can't even read it, cool.
It worked last time.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. You get 6 hit points plus 2 temporary hit points. Swain.
All right. Yay.
Alright, Ruby, what do you want to do? Your new spells and stuff.
I need to see if this one can be cast at a lower level. Alright, I am going to... How do I share this with you guys? Play in
work.
BTT.
Yeah, that should work.
Alright.
Cloud kill.
Alright, where do you want to put the cloud kill at?
So it's 20-foot radius, so that means it's a 40-foot diameter circle.
That's the spot right there that you just hit. That hits everything and misses me.
It even hits the... Oh, okay.
It hits all 3 of them, it hits the one down here, and it hits the big tree, and it misses me, because that's 25 feet away from me.
Okay. Then I will cast it at that point.
Alright,
So...
go ahead and draw some kind of effect there while I'll hold this there and you can draw it.
That's where I'm going to cast my fireball.
Draw
So
your,
I cast it.
draw your sickly poison cloud.
Okay.
So the area is obscured and it does a bunch of damage.
Where was that point to start from?
Bottom left corner of the middle scarecrow.
Down there?
You can draw it where my pink circle is. I just can't draw it and hold this at the same time.
So it's like a foggy thing around in this area.
Oh, can you guys not see my circle?
I see a little circle on the...
I could see your circle.
There's a circle.
See that now, yeah.
Oh, crud.
There you go. Okay. So, let me roll saving throws.
Oh, it's moving my guy with it. Crud. Not what I meant to do.
My circles.
A
Not
tree's
good
got
then.
+5 constitution. They take half if they save, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Anything you want to do with the bonus action? Two of the scarecrows are bloodied, and the big tree blight's bloodied too. Alright, Dio, you finally get to go.
Oh shit! I didn't think I was ever gonna go. Um, okay. So cloud kill's happening over there.
Yep.
I am gonna attack the big tree.
Alright.
So time to get a whacking, I guess. Oh wait, before I do that, I'm gonna cast
Mhm.
Hunter's Mark, I think.
Okay. Take your swings. That definitely
And
hits.
Be Betty
Ah,
Betty quiet. We are hunting, please.
So 17 on the
eh,
first one. And that misses. Second one
oh,
misses.
okay.
Did you want to use any
Okay.
smite on the first one?
Uh, you bet I do. Um, I'll go ahead and cast a third level smite. So it's 2d8, right? Normally?
Uh, it'd be the level plus one. So 4 before d8.
Yeah, I thought it would be 4d8. Okay.
This thing is not undead. It is sort of, but not exactly. So 24. Oh god, that was a big hit. It's looking
Yep.
pretty rough now. It's like
That was the intent.
swinging Ireena around by the leg and trying to bite Swain, but you just run up and jam your pick into it, and the holy energy just burns a huge hole in it.
Yep.
That one's dead. Didn't get a turn. Okay, it's Ireena's turn. You are grappled. You can use an action to try to break free, but you don't have to. You can attack while it's grappling you, but you'll have disadvantage. And also, the root that's holding you can be severed by dealing 6 or more slashing damage to it.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any slashing weapons, but if you do, you can try to cut the root that's holding you. I know a rapier doesn't slash, but you might have something else.
Uh,
A whip. Wha-pow.
how would I? How would I?
Sword has
Let's see.
slashing.
Short sword.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. I will then attempt the short sword.
Okay, go for it. So that hits, and that is enough damage. So you cut the root, and you're no longer grappled. And now, if you want to use your offhand attack, you won't have disadvantage anymore because you're not grappled anymore.
Okay. Then I will go in with my rapier.
All right, that's a hit, and you can do sneak attack because it's adjacent to your allies. So how do you want to kill it?
Um, I've chopped off its final roots.
All right, you cut the one that's grabbing it, and then you jam your rapier into its mouth, and it kind of snuffs whatever unholy magic was animating it, He just kind of falls backwards and almost lands on Dio. Just slams into the ground. And then its wood starts being incinerated by a moonbeam. Okay, these randos are like. I had to have people here because like they're not just gonna like stand there and let their house be destroyed. So
But are they gonna walk into a fog cloud?
definitely not. Um, she hits this guy down here with the hand crossbow shot.
Nope.
Swain's turn now. You're almost
That
in range of
case,
this death gas that Ruby just conjured.
It won't move towards you. It'll move away from you next turn. So
still, I think if I go here, then that's fine. Or wait, hold on. What's the range on this thing?
oh,
Yeah, I should be able to go here and then. Yep. Change it up. I'm not gonna use fireball then. Instead, we're gonna cast. And I'm gonna cast it in a straight line west through all three of those guys.
All right, nice. Success, fail, success. Oh, they have exactly 13. Two of them do. So even though that guy succeeded, he still dies because he takes double damage from fire. This guy took 26 damage. He's dead. And then this guy succeeded, so he takes half and double, so he just takes normal damage. So the one on the end is still alive, but barely. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's gonna be it.
This one is gonna try to get out of the death gas, and it's gonna try to claw at the guy that just shot fire at it. 19 to hit. I think that misses, right? On Swain.
19 does miss. That's correct.
That Iron Man armor.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that one's dead. Yo, Adrian's gonna come up here and flank this guy and attack him with advantage with the sword. Second attack is a crit. But his crit's only 11 damage, but it's something.
The guy's pretty low though, right? Because he got hit by everything.
Yeah, he's super low now. This scarecrow up here behind Ireena is gonna try to claw at her. That's a 19 to hit. Does 19 hit Ireena?
Yes. I'm at 6.
You take 3 slashing damage, and you have to make a wisdom saving throw of 11, or you become frightened of the scarecrow. You're good. You guys are not scared of these fucking scarecrows.
But just 3 then?
Yeah, so just 3. You guys haven't been frightened a single time. And all of their attacks are frightening, so.
I mean, how can we be scared of scarecrows after all the shit we've seen?
It's
Right.
true.
I mean, we've seen a bunch of bullshit already, so
This one's coming at Ruby. 15 to hit. I'm pretty sure that doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit.
The old man's like, someone came to save us. And he's going to take a shot with his hand crossbow at the one that's attacking Ruby. And he hit for 7 damage. That one's dead. Burl's turn.
Alright. First things first, I'm going to move the moonbeam over here.
Okay.
And then...
I'm gonna move down here. Let's see, make sure I've got my distance right. Okay, so I'll move four more so I can within 30 feet, and I'm just gonna use my cantrip, produce flame,
Okay.
to whip up a fire flame and hurl it at this guy.
That's a hit. Is that one?
So,
Is that one an attack roll? I thought it was a save. Maybe
what's
it
that?
is.
No, it's a ranged attack roll.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, it hits. And you said you're attacking
So,
the one that's down here.
yeah, for 15 points of fire damage.
All right, that doubles to 30, so that is enough to kill it.
Nice. It's a hell of a cantrip.
Yep. Just light it up. It comes to slash at Ruby, and she just like laughs at it, and then it just
Did
ignites in flames.
did my poison not do much to them?
It did. It did. Damaged all three of them.
Okay,
It softened them up for the fire thing to kill them all.
gotcha.
And it's your turn now, so your stuff is gonna move.
I'll see if I can grab my crap and move it.
I don't think it matters, but yeah, it moves. I can try to move it. You can do whatever your turn is.
I'll just delete it. Your blue thing's fine.
Or you can drop the spell if you want.
Yeah, all those guys are dead, so I'll just drop the spell.
Okay, that way you don't have to concentrate on it.
Yeah, exactly. Loop, leap, flop. Shouldn't have made all these. It's annoying.
It did look good though.
You can drag and drop to select multiple at once.
I'm trying, but oh, I know why. Because I'm drawing more. Jesus. I'm still on the draw thing.
Whoops. Oh well, they were dead. I accidentally deleted all those things, but they were dead, so.
Alright, so I'm there. I'm gonna walk up and smack this scarecrow.
Alright.
There's that. And let me go to D&D Beyond. Actions. I'll just do a nice.
You have some kid cantrips too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a cantrip.
I don't think clerics have any cantrips that deal fire damage, but probably won't need it.
There you go.
Ray of sickness that hits. And it dies.
Okay.
So a beam of necrotic energy shoots out of your holy symbol into this thing, and it just all of the sticks that are inside its body just kind of wilt, and the bags that make up its clothes just kind of fall down and start blowing away in the wind. Dio, there's one enemy left.
Well, let's see if I can get over there. Yep. He's gonna get over there and hit him.
All right. Yep. That almost took him down.
Wait. There's one thing left. Hunter's Mark.
Did you want to use your bonus action to move it onto a new target?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. You'll have to do it before you attack, but yeah, that's enough to finish it off. Just run over and jam your war pick into its head, and it stops moving and falls into pieces. And you guys managed to resist 7 scarecrows fear, and all of their abilities are fear, but none of them worked. And after the combat ends, this old man walks up and he says, "Oh, thank you. Oh, you're the ones that killed the witches. Thank you so much for helping. What are you doing here? Have you come for wine?"
Well, to be completely honest with you, we've come here because the ravens told us we needed to, and as we came near, we encountered this young man in the woods and said that y'all were having some troubles with your crops, and it just seems as though the forces of nature in this place have brought us here to hopefully do some good.
He says, "Yes, yes, the ravens, of course." Um, Ireena, make a perception check. And if there's anything particularly other people want to do since the combat ended, you can. Oh wow, jeez. Um,
I definitely am gonna drop my third level spell that did no damage.
sure. Yeah. Well, it would have if they wouldn't have killed everything so fast.
Yep. Uh, yeah, I want to like approach over to this guy, uh, sort of very much make my presence known here.
Um, Ireena, you notice that he has a necklace on that looks like the necklace that your father had. Well, your father had these two necklaces. One was a small one that was made of silver that he wore it at all times, but he usually had it tucked under his shirt. And he also had a larger symbol of the same symbol, like a pendant, and he kept it under his bed. And you've noticed it a few times when you were younger, but you always noticed he had the smaller one on his necklace. The symbol looks like a raven's head from the side, like the silhouette of a raven's head. And this guy's wearing a symbol that looks exactly like that, but this guy's is bigger. This guy's is more like a holy symbol, like of a cleric.
I can't help but notice that your necklace looks familiar to me. My dad wore one like it.
Really? He walks up closer to you and looks. It seems like his eyes aren't very good. He squints and looks at you. "Who is your father?" I don't even remember his name, but
uh,
he's the burgomaster. I know that. What was his name?
Just say you said his name to him.
his name
Yeah.
was Father Dearest.
Uh,
Oh, him, yeah.
something Kalyana. What was it?
The Burgomeister. What?
Yeah.
Burgomaster of
She
Barovian
says
Village.
his name. Does the guy recognize
Rebecca.
it?
Basically, is the mayor. There's no
The
handout
mayor
for
of
him
so and
actually.
so.
There's the handout for the brother, but not for the dad. I guess because he's dead before they even get there. But anyway, they're talking about the guy that you guys helped bury, or that we helped bury, because I was a player back then. But um, I think his last name is God, what is his name? Screw it, I'm just gonna Google it.
Kolyana.
Yeah, Kalyan Indirovich. And his kids have Kolyanovich as the last name. I guess his first. I don't know how that works, but his first name is sort of like a version of that as your last name, Kilyanovich. But anyway, this guy says, "Oh yes, he was a good man. He he was one of," and then he pauses, and he looks around, and he says, "Did your father ever tell you about the Keepers of the Feather?"
No,
No.
Back.
tell me.
I will tell you more. Come inside, please, all of you.
You got any wine?
Lead the way.
If there's anything we have, it's wine. He says, "This is my wife, Stefania."
What's up?
And there's a picture of the family when you find it. They look pretty evil, but everyone in this module looks evil, so
They are all very weathered, for sure.
the bearded guy is his son, and his younger son is Adrian, is this guy that you guys met. Um, we will. He says, "We will prepare a dinner for you. Come, come." Um, I guess I'll just put you guys in the dining room, because why not?
As we go inside, I want to ask him, these creatures we came upon attacking your home here, is this a regular occurrence?
Uh, he says, "Lately we've been attacked by strange things like those scarecrows and uh, some druid type creatures, blights and such.
Mm-mm.
There used to be
Where do
druids
they?
down. There used to be druids down at Yester Hill, but not in a long time. It must be
Where do
that
these
witch.
creatures come from?
Must be coming from the witch. She. They say she lives down in the ruins of Berez.
Well, have you believe that she's sending these creatures after you?
I don't know what she wants. She might be an ally of Strahd, though I don't know why she would know that we don't like Strahd. We always try to act like we're his loyal servants as much as we can. Did you guys find where the room is? It's like up and to the left.
Yeah.
I assume you guys can all see it.
Was anybody like damaged from the fight really at all?
I don't
Not
think
I.
so.
I mean, some, but not a lot.
Okay.
Tis but a scratch.
Okay.
He says, the ravens speak to me. They saw you destroy the hags at the windmill. They also said that you cleansed the stone circle near there. I'm surprised that you knew how to do that, but you're from another world. I don't know what types of magics you all know and understand. I'm not a very powerful magic user myself. I'm just a simple cleric.
Well, you speak of druids that once lived near here. Well, I sure would be fascinated to learn more. I come from a place where I come from. I'm one of a large clan of druids, and I've met none since I've been here, and seen a great amount of blight on this land. And well, I really don't enjoy being in its presence.
This woman, they call her Baba Lysaga. She is It said that she's not a hag. Those evil fey creatures that you destroyed were not human. It said that
Right.
this Baba Lysaga, she was a servant in the castle. She was a servant of Queen Ravenovia, the count's mother. And the legend goes that this woman, Lysaga, is the one that planted the seed of dark magic in Strahd when he was a child.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but for some reason she was cast out of the castle, according to the legend. And it's said that she's wandered the land ever since, and that she has great power over the land here that no one else claims. All of the druids that lived in these lands before Strahd came to power have all been wiped out. And it seems like the more of those druids that died, the more power that this witch gained. I
Mm-hmm.
do not know if she is truly human, but the legends of her have been around for hundreds of years.
Hmm.
And I think Burl would know that high level druids don't age. They can live a really long time.
Right. They basically live until they decide they don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, that is discomforting to hear.
Just a few months ago, she started killing all the ravens in the area. And maybe a month or so ago, started sending these weird creatures. They've been attacking travelers. And then more recently, they've been actually coming all the way here to our home and attacking us.
Where does she reside?
In the ruins of Berez, it's to the southeast. It's just south of the windmill.
Okay.
It's a haunted
Well,
place.
so, okay.
They say
What was
they say
what was this?
Strahd unleashed his wrath on that town for some reason
Hmm.
and annihilated it into nothing. And the ruins that are left were overgrown and became a swamp. And apparently, this witch has decided to move in there.
Hmm. Well, that is not something I like to hear. Well, your this young man Adrian. He's your son, your grandson.
Yes, he's my youngest son.
He tells us that the your crops here they don't grow like they once did.
Yes, there are these strange crystals that have been here since we inherited the vineyard that help the crops grow, and one of them went missing. We discovered it because a section of our vineyard has died off, and when we tried to dig up where the crystal was, it was gone. One of them was gone.
Tell me what you know of these crystals.
All we know is that some wizard had a vineyard here many years ago, and I suspect it may have something to do with the temple at the top of the mountain. You know, it's hard to grow food and wine at the top of a snowy mountain. They say wizards
Right.
lived up there long ago. Perhaps there's some connection. But
What do these crystals look like?
they are large green crystals of some type. They seem to be imbued with some kind of magic, but it's lasted a long time, whatever it is.
What time of day is it by now?
Uh, Probably early afternoon, but it's still overcast and kind of rainy.
Okay. Well, uh, would you care to show me to the where you grow your crops?
Yes, of course we can. He gets he kind of struggles to get out of his chair. He looks like he has some kind of sickness. He's an old
Mhm.
guy, but he also seems to have some more than just old age. Um, Swain, roll a religion check.
Like, can I like try to suss out what looks like is ailing him with some sort of medicine check?
Yeah, you can make a medicine check. You, some kind of rash, you don't know.
Okay. Uh, I want to pull out the little vial that I took from the waters
It's
and breath.
being absorbed into a new thing.
Do what?
I'm sorry. I meant to mute my mic.
Tommy, you can roll a religion check. I think you would pretty much know this because you had prior a prior clue. Uh, you're pretty sure that this guy and possibly the other people in his family are were ravens.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. That's how they
Okay.
communicate.
And
Uh,
the weird rashes that he has seems to be related to that.
okay.
But Burl doesn't know that. Burl thinks he just has syphilis or something.
Alright, so, um, I guess. So is he going to show me out to the vineyard?
Yeah, he shows you out there, and you actually make a, let's say, a Arcana check.
Oh boy. All right. How about it?
Okay, that'll work. After you look over this area, the part of the vineyard that's dead, um,
Mm-hmm.
it does seem like these crops, these grapes should not be surviving here too well, but the ones that are in the healthier parts are doing it, which makes you think that it might be true that there's some type of magic that's maybe similar to your plant growth spell or something like that. But in this
Mm-hmm.
area, around the outskirts of the dead area, they're kind of dying like a plant would wilt. But in the middle of this area, there's like a shock wave of blighted plants as if they were targeted with some kind of spell.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like after this someone took this crystal, they may have cast a spell to try to kill some of these plants.
So, okay. So I want to cast plant growth not as the 8-hour ritual, but just as the one action spell through the area where it looks like it's been blighted.
Okay.
It says all normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on that point become thick and overgrown. So I want to see, like, does it um, like reinvigorate those plants? Does it grow?
There's a 30-foot circle, 30-foot radius circle in the middle of that area where the plants aren't affected at all. They're just blackened. But all of the grapevines all around are revivified when you cast a spell, and they actually become bigger and more healthy than even the others on the other parts.
Okay, so the area where it was hit does nothing.
It worked on the outer parts, but
Okay.
in that circle in the middle,
Uh-huh.
the they're just completely dead. There's nothing to grow there. It's like it's blighted there,
Okay.
and you
You can't
definitely
make
get
normal plants overgrown if they're not alive to begin with.
yeah, and it definitely seems like there was some kind of dark druidic magic that was at play here.
Okay. Well, hmm. Unfortunately, I don't believe I am uh, quite adept enough to undo whatever has killed these plants. But what I can do, if you'll allow me the time, I'll have to work well into the evening, or either that or start fresh in the morning. But I can work my magic through what I've learned and uh, trained and observed to truly invigorate the plants that you do have, all the ones that remain, all of them. And if you allow me to do so, over the course of the next year, your crops will yield double what they have in the past.
He says he's impressed by your spell that you are already cast, and he says, "I don't know how I could repay you. I would be very grateful for that. You've already helped defend our home, and you've ridded this land of those horrible hags. But if you want to do more good, I would not oppose it. Any additional wine that you allow us to create will be given away to the people of Barovia to help them be happy, or at least content." And he says, "Stay. You're free to stay here for the day, or however long you need. And we have beds. I could give you all a tour of the winery if you're interested in that."
Sure thing. Yes.
And
But
he says, "There's something I would like to show you, Ireena. Um, I don't know if I don't know about everyone." And then his wife says, "Use your ring. Do the ring." And he says, "Well, they might be offended." And he looks back at you and he says, "Would you all consent to a spell that would force the truth to be told, just so I can you know put myself at ease?"
As long as we can do the same to you.
Of course. And he casts a zone of truth. And if anyone would like to lie, you can make a saving throw to try to go over it. But if you're not planning on lying, you don't have to. And he basically asks you if you're servants of Strahd and stuff like that, and if you're genuine at wanting to help. And I don't think any of you would set off any alarms unless you want to actually try to lie.
I'll be truthful.
Um, he says, there are a few things I would like to share with you. First, come downstairs. I'll show you something. And let me get all your tokens on the other side of the map. Hang on. Let me get all of you. Drag you across the map. We're going way down to the bottom. Near the bottom of the map.
Found it.
And you go down through the bottom floor of this place. There's the big vats where they do the wine, huge vats, and there's another room where they like stomp on the wine to make a special kind that is supposed to be better or whatever. And then they
Is
bring you
this like
down.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where if we drink it, we'll float to the fan at the ceiling?
Pretty much. And he says he brings you down to the cellar, and he says, "If you would like to grab a bottle, feel free." And he comes over to this wall here, and he fiddles with the wall for a moment, and he um, opens a secret door. And he says, "Step in here. It's cramped, but this is my hidden shrine. Make sure you don't tell anyone about it."
I like how you brought him back out. Like you walked in and was like, "Hey,
Yeah,
make sure you don't tell anybody."
yeah.
Ruby will grab a bottle of the wine.
Okay, you have a. Do you want the Champagne de la Stomp, or the regular Blood of the Vine?
Whatever seems to be the most expensive thing that they have, the best thing.
The Champagne de la Stomp is there, but it's supposed to be the better stuff.
Okay, yeah.
That's the stuff where they actually charge money for it instead of giving it away for free.
Oh, so when he was saying grab one, he meant grab one of the free ones.
Yeah, he's given it to you for free, but normally they charge people for the higher stuff. And the regular
Okay,
stuff
yeah.
they give
Then
away for free.
oh yeah, then I'm taking the charge stuff. I'll put one in my bag.
I mean, you guys stopped a giant evil tree from destroying their house, so
Yeah.
he's gonna give you some free wine if
Are
you want
there
it.
are there any big empty tanks or anything like that here?
There's barrels. There's a
Like,
bunch of
is
empty
there like
barrels.
buckets maybe? Clean buckets?
Uh, on the upper floor there would be where
Oh,
the
okay.
winery is. There'd be a bunch of them.
So am I
So
supposed to follow him through
yeah,
this thing?
I'll put you guys in there. It is cramped.
Okay. Those fall.
Where did oh there you are, Ruby.
I didn't know if it was gonna be a trap or something, so I was like walking
Oh
to the
yeah.
corner.
Um, you see this little small cavern area, and he's got this secret door that leads in here. There's a shrine in here of a woman, and there are ravens perched on her, and she's hooded with a long dress. And Ruby, you would recognize this figure to be similar to the figure that spoke to you in your vision.
I I recognize this. Say that out loud.
Is this the one that you chose to follow?
No,
No,
Okay.
I this was one of the beings that spoke to me in my dream.
he says, "No offense there, Paladin, but the Morning Lord that many clerics here try to follow, they always seem to fall to darkness, or fight futilely. There's all, there is another god that has spoken to me and my family, and has spoken to your father, Ireena. Uh, we know her as the Raven Queen. She is a god. She watches over the veil between life and death, and shepherds spirits on. She is a a patron of uh, of spies and duplicity, but only for good. That's why my family uh, we always try to do good with our endeavors to help people like you and others that have come through that try to stop Strahd from perpetuating evil in this land. The Keepers of the Feather is a secret group that are followers of the Raven Queen here in Barovia. And I'm sorry to hear of your father's passing, but I've met him a few times. He was one of the members. He gave us information, and we gave him information to try to keep our people safe. He takes a uh, necklace, a pendant off of the shrine that was there, sort of like an offering, and he hands it to Ireena, and he says, "Maybe this will remind you of your father, and perhaps the Raven Queen will watch over you. She has eyes everywhere." We don't control these ravens. They they are sent by the Raven Queen. Some of us can speak to them, but they're not servants. They're just messengers of her. She may not be as powerful as some of these other gods or like Strahd, but she grants us the power to survive and help people. She's like a light in the darkness, just like this morning lord that so many others care about. He says this may not the Raven Queen may not be to interest to all of you, but there's something else I would like to tell you about. There's a wizard that battled Strahd several years ago. It's said that he destroyed him, but Strahd returned. He cast down the wizard. Well, the wizard is still alive. We've been protecting him. He There's something wrong with him. I do not know how to cure him, but I've tried. Something's wrong with his mind. I I tried to ask him questions. He's not right in the head, but he's still powerful. Perhaps you all should go try to speak with him. Maybe one of you can find a way to help him. If anyone could help you destroy Strahd, it would be him.
And where is he at?
He looks around, even though you're in like a secret room in his house. He's still afraid that someone's going to hear. And he's just like, he's at Yester Hill. He looks like a crazy old hermit. And he is. But he's also an incredibly powerful wizard. Yester Hill is down the road to the south of here. We have ravens and even my own family members. We watch the road all the time. There's only one way in, and it's past our house. That's why we led him to Yester Hill, so he can be hidden from Strahd. I could tell Adrian to take you there if you wish, but you don't have to go now. We could we could finish cooking you dinner. You could cast that spell you were talking about if you want.
Yes. Yes, I think we should do that.
Dinner sounds good.
Let's see here. Ruby and Dio and Swain can make a religion check to see if you've ever heard of the Raven Queen. Because you might have.
Huh. I mean,
Oof. Nope. Probably
some
not.
some days I listen in class.
Wait, did you say me or no?
Yeah, you're
Not
from
that day.
Oh,
you're
okay.
from the Forgotten Realms, so you could have heard of her.
I rolled a 1. Do you see that?
Yep. You think that the Raven Queen is a brothel in Waterdeep or something?
You also rolled a 2.
Yes,
Yep,
I did.
a 1 and a 2. So Swain,
dude.
Swain, you've heard of the Raven Queen. It's said that she was a mortal who tried to turn against Lolth and Coraline, which are the basically evil dark elf goddess and the good normal elf god, who opposed each other. She tried to turn against both of them, and she tried to ascend to godhood, and she went mad and formed as some kind of weird demigod thing in the Shadowfell, and her followers were transformed into the Shatterkai. And it's said that she has a citadel in the Shadowfell where she collects memories, and trinkets, and she's obsessed with sorrow and memories and things like that. And some people claim that she's mad, but some claim that she's a benevolent god that helps people pass on through death and stuff like that. There's a lot of like debate about whether she's good or evil, but pretty much everything he said about her is, as far as you know, is pretty much true. There's just not much known about her. So you guys can relax and eat and drink wine and cast plant growth. And is there anything else you guys want to do while you hang out here?
I'm gonna get a bucket, and I'm not gonna drink
Okay.
wine. I'm gonna pour 4 gallons of beer, and I'm gonna drink beer.
Oh yeah, out of the alchemy jar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ruby gets close to Dio and whispers in his ear, like, "How about you and me go find a spot to be alone for a while?"
Dio looks at Ruby awkwardly.
And keep in mind, she looks
Just
like a
says,
corpse now. So
"Yep, it's even worse than before." Um,
And it's even stronger than before. Very much more forward.
uh-huh.
I moved you guys up to the winery part just in case you wanted to see it. I don't
Right.
think there's going to be any battles here,
We,
but
we are like sitting down to dinner right now, right? Or something like that.
yeah, you're going to at some point. I just put you guys in the winery just because some guy made this map, so might as well not waste it.
Okay.
I don't think there will be any battles here, and you guys, unless you guys decide to start slaughtering your family. I mean, they are were ravens, so
I mean, fair. Yeah.
At some point, I want to try and pull Swain aside and say, Swain, it seems in these travels I've noticed you seem to have a deep knowledge of the religions of this world. And, I found something back at that old windmill that I never really talked about with anybody. There was this. I found this statue up in the top, and I want to describe the like snake statue that had those gemstones in it,
yeah.
and you know, sort of. I don't want to explain. Well, when I saw that statue, my gut instinct was that it was a bit of an unholy relic, and you know, embedded in this statue were these gemstones, and I felt this compulsion to remove them. To, it's, I guess I thought at first it was to remove the whatever holy or unholy power this relic might have held. Since I've been in possession of these stones, I've been having these horrid nightmares that are affecting even my physical form. Part of my connection to nature is through dreams, and I find this quite concerning. And based on what I've described to you, do you know anything about this statue and what it might represent?
Well,
It's possible that you
seems
could know, but it's going to be very. You're going to have to roll really high.
seems like the religion that I've known about here in this land is actually not from this world to begin with, but from the world and the plane that I'm from, which is how I kind of know so much about it. But as you mention it, I rolled an 18. I don't know what that tells me.
Um, there's something about snakes and nightmares that kind of sounds familiar, but you just can't quite place it exactly. You would have to research it.
I will relay that information to Burl.
Okay. So based on your experiences, do you believe that I should be attempting to discard these stones, or do you think they serve some greater purpose? I have this feeling inside me that these serve some greater purpose, but I've yet to discover what it might be.
I mean, I think that
I'll show him
I'd,
in the gym.
I'd probably hold on to them because if we discard them and we need them, then we'd be kicking ourselves in the butt. But if we have them and realize we don't need them, we can always discard them later.
My main concern is the ill feelings they provide to me. But yeah, I've survived so far, and I can weather on further. Thank you.
When something spoke to you in a dream, it kind of would remind you of what Ruby described when she came back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that doesn't necessarily mean a good or bad thing.
Right.
It's just
Because
something.
nothing he described was similar to what I've seen. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the same entity, just some
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of dark entity reaching out in a
Uh-huh.
dream is similar to what happened to Ruby.
Sure. Okay.
It did bring her back from the dead, though there seems to have been other effects it had on her too.
Uh, I will. I, I, while I just thought of something. Um, so when you've been able to identify various items that we've come across, things of magical nature, can you try that on these stones and see if you're able to magically sort of discern their properties if they have any? Everybody hear me?
Yep.
No. Did Swain hear me?
Oh,
What?
someone dropped out for a second.
Hello.
How many did you leave? You back?
Can you hear me?
He's back.
Yeah, he back.
You hear you?
Okay. I don't know if I can hear anything, so I had to like leave and try to come back in.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
your voice is kind of cracking a little bit now too, but we can hear you.
What was the last thing you heard?
A bunch of static.
Okay, well
Okay, what was
he wanted to know if you could identify those things, the gems or whatever.
Yeah. Let me pull up my.
Oh, I thought he was like, yeah, I can identify it.
Uh,
okay? Does it give anything back?
I will cast
Um,
identify.
I'll say you need to make an Arcana check to see how much you understand the information that you receive. Not great.
So let me use a lucky point and
Okay.
reroll. Oh my god!
Still not great.
2 to a 4.
What are we doing? What else we got going on tonight? Can I have one more? I might as well use it because I'm not gonna be doing it anytime
Sure.
soon.
Okay.
Way better.
Way better. This is a ball of. Basically, it's a ball that's made of pigments. These pigments are created from unholy sacrifice, and they can create dreams and nightmares in reality. If you broke down uh, this into pigments and made paint, you could basically warp reality with it. Let me show it to you.
That sounds dope.
This is 1,000 square feet of paint. And if you paint things, they become real, but not really real, like dreams in reality, basically.
So this
That's
is
awesome.
like the. Okay. Okay. So now that.
Objects or terrain features.
All right. So now that we understand that, I fully intend to spend time trying to figure out how to change these objects into these pigments.
You would basically just have to grind it down into, as small as you can, and then kind of mix it with water to make paint and paint stuff.
Then that is what I will do.
I'll say
Okay.
you could
So
try to use some of the equipment here to help, and probably Dio to help because he's strong, and you could. It would take a while, but you can
I've
grind
also,
this big
I was gonna
thing.
say, I also have calligrapher's supplies. I don't know if anything in there would be useful.
It would be useful for the painting part.
yep. Well, I am no artist, but anyone that once we change these things, I can.
And as you start to kind of grind this down and try to make paint with it, it looks exactly like blood. It's kind of
Okay.
unsettling.
Of course it does.
All right then. You guys are going to spend the rest of the day casting plant growth and making some dream pigments and
Yep.
drinking wine. Is there anything else anybody wants to do?
How big is this guy's like house that's being like attacked? I mean, he said this is not the first time, right? Like, how big is this guy's house?
It's pretty big. Um, I don't know how to describe it. You guys are on the bottom floor. It's 200 by 100. The top floor is the same level. The cellar's smaller, but it's a pretty big house.
He said 200 by 100.
That's what it says on here, according to this map.
Okay, that is a lot. Okay.
It's got, let me see, 5 bedrooms, and down here it's got a bunch of rooms for where they store and make wine.
Okay.
They have horses too. So,
All
and
right.
if do you guys want to go off to see the wizard?
Yeah.
I guess so.
So let me get back to the map. So you guys are right here, and this road leads down to Yester Hill, and you'll have to walk. Whoops. You'll have to walk
So
there, but it's still,
this is yesterday.
yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It'll take probably uh, a day to walk there and back. So you'll probably want to sleep at the Wizard of Wines if you want. If you
Okay.
don't, if you want to avoid camping in the woods.
Right.
So is that what you guys want to do?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I need. Uh,
So
let's
we're
see.
moving into a new day.
Yeah, yeah, you can do a long rest.
Okay.
Um, in Ireena, you have dreams about your father and some woman with a hood that has ravens on her shoulder, and like in the dream you're like a young girl, and this woman is speaking to your father in your house, and then it's a weird dream, but you can't stop thinking about the the raven woman. And also that night, I need let me do it at random. Here we go. I need Dio to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Right.
Your sleep is racked with nightmares of
Of a dwarven woman trying to.
Strahd killing your friends and then them coming back as zombies.
That's fair.
And you wake up with 4 psychic damage and you have a point of exhaustion.
Shit. Okay. Where would I track a point of exhaustion in D&D Beyond? Or is it? I don't know if it's set up for that
There
actually.
might be.
In condition, right below
I
your
think it'd
hit
be a
points.
condition.
Yeah, it's right below your hit points at the very bottom.
Oh yeah,
Exhaustion.
level.
Here we
So
go. Yep.
does it tell you?
Exhaustion level 1.
Oh yeah, it does. Cool. That's pretty nice.
Yep.
Means you're at disadvantage on all ability checks.
Yep.
But in combat, you're fine.
For now.
Esmeralda's not exhausted. I just clicked that to see what happened. It's funny that it pops
Sure.
up though.
Yeah, it does pop up.
Oh, cool.
So let me see if you guys get that
Dio
here.
Dio.
So by the time we rouse in the morning and get ready to travel, has Esmeralda come to join us?
No, she still probably hasn't got to the tower yet.
Okay.
So you guys make it safely. No encounters this time. Adrian goes with you. Does anybody want to do anything? Like I'm sure you probably want to try to gather more herbs. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
I do. I want to try and gather herbs and reagents for reincarnation. So,
Okay, roll survival.
expect it to work. Yeah. Ooh.
You gathered 100 gold worth of reagents and enough herbs to craft another normal healing potion.
Nope.
So when you guys make it to the hill, let me find it. Where is it? There it is. Let me drop your characters in here. I hope the lighting's not messed up on this one. There should be no lighting, it's just outside. So you can see this hill has... Actually, let me see if I can find the description. Let me see what it says. This trail through the woods that you guys followed for about 4 or 5 hours leads to a hill that's covered in dead grass and cairns of black rock. Cairns like burial cairns.
Graven cairns, if you will.
Exactly. And dark ominous clouds gather high above. West of the hill, the land, the woods, and the sky vanish beneath a towering wall of fog. The fog here is very strong. You can tell that this is the edge of Barovia. You can see where the fogs begin. And I think Burl probably would have at some point, but I know the other players that came from another world experimented by trying to go back into the fog, and it did not go well.
Right.
There are dirt trails Everybody can see, right? By the way.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
just making sure. There are dirt trails that run along two concentric rings around the cairns, and each cairn is a 10-foot high mound of slimy black rocks. And there's one trail that leads to the center. The center. Well, I'll wait and see. Does anybody want to walk up the hill, approach the center?
Yes.
Do you guys want to move quietly or just normally?
We don't see any. I don't see any creatures that are like lurking in the edge of the woods or anything.
Make a perception check. You can faintly hear what's a humanoid voice coming from the south that's occasionally saying things. You don't hear any responses to it, and you don't see any other signs of creatures except for some ravens in the trees.
Okay. Can I actually see the ravens in the tree?
Yes, they're like
Okay.
around you.
I want to turn into a raven
Okay.
and fly over near just near the trees where the other ravens are, and just kind of keep an eye on them as I fly past.
Okay. Most of them are around you guys as if they kind of followed you in these areas.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of want to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, I just kind of want to fly near them and see how they respond.
They just kind of watch you.
Okay. I want to fly close and land on a branch nearby where they're sitting, near where they're perched. Not like in the middle of them, but like close by.
A
Close
few,
enough where I could hear them if they were like squawk, like hear them clearly if they were squawking.
a few of them are staring at you, but the rest are watching the other party members. And you want to try to
Okay.
hear them.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a spell that lets you speak to animals, or does Wild
No.
Shape will just let you do that?
No, I don't know that Wild Shape lets me do that. I don't think it like lets me just understand them. I'm not trying to like understand what they're communicating to each other, but just to sort of see if are they, because sometimes they mimic words.
Yeah.
That's probably what we've experienced here, to see if they're like attempting to communicate with me if I come nearby.
Okay.
And
Currently, none of them are speaking any language you can understand, but
okay,
sometimes they squawk and stuff and move around.
uh,
While he's doing that, what are the rest of you gonna do?
Dio's gonna try and detect good and evil here.
Okay. Divine Sense, or are you gonna cast Detect Good and Evil?
Can I even detect? Can I even cast? I don't think I can. I can't even cast it. I am gonna use my divine sense. Yeah.
Okay. Um, you do not detect any undead or fiends or celestials here.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm gonna try to sort of create the mimicry, sort of the raven sound, and see if I can like create the word. I want to say um, uh, man, and then the word safe. I don't know if I can do that as a. I don't.
You can
But
because the Raven stat block actually has a thing on it that says they can mimic words,
okay,
so you can do that.
okay, and I want to see how they respond.
A few of them just repeat what you say exactly,
Okay.
but probably 75% of them don't. They're just kind of watching the other people, the other party members. They don't seem on edge though. They're kind of like it's kind of like a dog that's just kind of following you around, but they're not just because they do that, just
Okay.
casually.
So after gauging that reaction, I want to fly over towards where we could hear that voice talking down south. Like
Okay.
I want to like just kind of circle like here, here. He's kind of in that path around, basically around the center circle, or this circle here, just kind of
Yeah.
around where it, and keep an eye out and see if you know what do I see down there.
In the middle, you see a druidic ring.
Uh huh.
You would recognize it as part of some kind of druid rites, because
Okay.
in near the middle of it is the remnants of like a I don't know what the word effigy. Yeah, an effigy, a
Okay.
large effigy, but it's like old, the remnants. Like it's been there for a long time, and it looks like it's been struck by lightning.
Okay.
And you can see down here, you can see a man, a bald man, walking around his tree. There's a large tree and bushes around it, and he's kind of walking
Mm-hmm.
around the tree, and he's reaching his hands around as if he's like feeling for something, and he's just spit talking to himself. If you get close
Okay.
enough to hear him, he's just
Yeah.
you can hear him say, "Where's the door? The door? Where's the door? Where is it?" And he's kind of going in circles around this tree, reaching like it's almost like he's blind and he's trying to feel for something.
Uh huh. Does he seem to have noticed me?
He did not.
Does not.
Doesn't seem to.
Okay. Um.
And you don't see any signs of any other creatures in your within your line of sight.
Okay. So I want to like flutter down to where like one of these trees are just on the near edge,
Mm-hmm.
and does he seem to have noticed me landing there? Or is he like? Does it seem like he's focused on something, or is it like one of those like kind of like crazy person staring off into space while they're talking, or does it seem like he's focused on something?
Kind of both.
Okay.
um, he did not notice you.
Okay. I'm gonna squawk at him and say, "Man, man."
Um, he stops moving and turns his head and looks at you.
Uh-huh.
And um,
Right row.
okay, so where are you at? You're landing in a bush.
Like right here, yeah.
Um, okay, let me see here. Let me look up this really fast. Okay, you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Is it fear or charm?
No.
Nice.
Um, he tries to cast a spell and messes it up, and then tries again, and the spell fires off, but it is not exactly right. Like he's struggling to cast spells, and
Okay.
you would know what the spell is. It's polymorph.
Okay.
He was trying to polymorph you. When it didn't work, he just looks at you and reaches his hand out toward you, and then kind of pauses and then turns around and starts like moving his head around quickly, like, "Where's the door? Where's the door? Where's the door?" And he just like basically forgets that you're there.
Okay. Uh, I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna squawk out one more time and say, "Safe, visitors, visitors, safe. And then I'm going to take off and fly back towards the group.
You just hear him laugh, like, ha ha ha. And then he just keeps going, looking for a door.
Okay. I will go back and land before the group and relay, what has transpired here, and tell them what I experienced, and so we can hash out what we're gonna do next.
Alright, so what do the rest of you guys want to do now that he tells you that about that?
I want to go up to the guy.
Yeah. Just want to walk up there and see what's up.
Yeah, I think so as well.
We'll just, boom, start walking.
Okay, so when you guys walk up to the middle here, where this circle is, you hear a barking, like from a dog. And
Okay.
it seems to be coming from, like, right here. But you can't see anything there.
I didn't see where you pinged at.
I drew
Okay.
a little,
Oh, okay.
I drew a little orange thing. It's like right there.
It showed up now.
But you can hear like a barking, like there's a dog there, but you don't see anything.
I'm just trying to keep going.
You can hear movement in the dirt there where that barking's coming from, but you can't see anything. But it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to move toward you. It's kind of, moving around in where it's standing and barking, like a dog would.
So, I want to try and first I want to look around. Like, is there any sort of inscription or anything on any of this circle here?
Um,
That I can see on the inside?
you can see, uh, actually, the secret language Druidic. You can see signs of it here and there, and it's all kind of epitaph, like basic epitaph stuff, like that you would see on graves and cemeteries of the, at least the type that druids would have, nature shaman-based societies that would have cairns like this.
Okay.
There's some signs on rocks and stuff like that that you could read.
Do I see anything that would that seems related to dogs or canines or anything like that?
No.
Dogs, wolves, huh?
Nope.
No. Okay. I want to, like if you saw a stray dog at the park and it looked friendly and you wanted to pet it, I want to try and sort of take that approach, listening to the sound and try to find the source of that sound.
Okay. Let me look.
Can I make an
this up.
insight check or an arcana check to see if that's actually real barking or if it's a spell?
Yeah,
Which one should I use?
Arcana. This is a spell you can learn, so I'll say you would know what it is. You're pretty sure that this is a phantom watchdog that was conjured by the spell Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound.
Okay.
It's a conjured hound that is invisible and basically barks at anything that comes close.
I'll let Burl know that it's just a spell that barks at things that come close to it.
And it can also see invisible creatures and see into the ethereal plane.
Oh, that sucks. I thought I was going to get the pet dog.
You also know that if something gets within 5 feet of the hound, that it will attack them and deal 48 piercing damage.
Ooh,
I'll
pretty
say
serious.
Okay. Well, then I guess I will steer clear. Alright. I noticed anything interesting about this effigy as we move past?
Um, you wonder if there were ever human sacrifices here, but
No.
it's impossible to tell. Otherwise, there's not much of note here. It's definitely a relic of druids from a long time ago.
Okay. Dope. Moving on.
And if you guys all walk past the hound, it doesn't do anything. It just
Okay.
keeps barking.
I want to come up here to the guy, and I'm going to pull out a bottle of wine that they gave me at the place, and I'm going to see if I can hail him and see if he wants some wine.
Um,
Staying close by.
he he reaches out his hand towards you like he's grasping, but there's nothing happens. And then he stares at his hand for a second, and then he reaches again, and he conjures a mage hand and grabs the wine out of your hand.
Cool.
But then his mage hand kind of disappears and it drops.
Oof.
Make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can catch it before it breaks.
Why won't it work?
So on the saving
There we go.
throws, I've noticed like you have to like click on it, and then when it brings up the little pop-up box, click on it again.
Mm.
Mine stopped letting me just auto-click my saving throws.
Yeah, they changed that for some reason, I guess. Probably because of the new auto roll thing messed it up. But
Maybe.
okay, what is Ireena trying to investigate?
Actually, I'm just trying to move, and I can't move my character.
Oh, okay. I can put you down there.
I just was trying to see if it was even like connecting.
Yeah, her map thing has not been working basically all night.
Yeah, it's finally working because I just shut off everything and turned it back on. But for some reason, I just can't move my.
That's weird.
I still
Well-
can't move her, but who knows?
I put your character down there with everyone else.
Thanks.
If there's something you wanted to investigate, you can.
You just refresh it.
Oh,
It looks
I
like
mean,
if you open Roll20 first before you open D&D Beyond, that might be why.
mm.
I don't know. Anyway,
Um,
okay.
so after the mage hand kind of disappears, he looks back at his hand and like he was surprised.
Did I catch it?
Yeah, you caught it before it broke.
Okay.
Then his eyes are kind of wide. And then he just slowly turns around to this bush here, and he starts reaching inside the bush, and starts digging around in the bush. And just doesn't say anything.
So
He definitely
I wanna
seems to have
step up-
something wrong with him.
I want to step up in front of Swain and call out to him and just say, "We are visitors, and we are safe."
After a few seconds, he just says, "The door's not here." And he walks over here and starts digging in a different bush.
Hmm.
He's a bald guy with like a little mustache and goatee, and he has like dirty commoner clothes. But you've already
And
seen him cast a 4th level spell, though he seemed to have trouble doing it.
Asking, what is the door you're looking for?
I need to go home. And he moves over and
We
starts
all-
digging in a different bush.
How can we help you go home?
I can't find the door. And he just keeps looking around. He seems responsive, but only a little bit.
So I want to kind of keep like easing closer towards him. How does he respond? Like as I just sort of like slowly, sort of 5 feet at a time, just ease closer.
He peeks over toward you and notices you, but he doesn't stop doing what he's doing. He doesn't seem to be scared of you.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more step forward right up next to him. Anything now?
Nothing. Are you casting detect magic?
So I'd like to cast Detect Magic, and if he's looking for something, I'm going to try to help him look for it.
Um, you see
See if I can
a
find a magical door or something.
powerful um, two powerful auras on him. Hang on. Let me find the other one. One is divination, and the other one is enchantment. Yes, enchantment. And they're both
Okay.
very powerful auras on him. And you don't see any other magic, except for you could probably see traces of magic on the effigy behind you, but nothing else is magic
When I
here.
get right up to him, I'm going to reach out and lay a hand on his shoulder and say, "We're here to help you." And I'm going to cast Greater Restoration.
Okay. That'll do it. Um, the enchantment aura that's on his body that Swain can see is shattered by the spell. And he pauses when you do this. He doesn't jump when you touch him or anything, but
Yeah.
after the spell takes effect, he pauses and he stands up straight and he kind of stares off into space. And then he turns and looks you all over and just kind of pauses for a second like he's thinking.
When he pauses, I'm going to say, "We've come to rid this place of the Dark Lord."
He turns around, moves over here, and he starts casting a spell. And you see a door open into midair, into thin air. He just basically pulls the air, pulls reality open, and there's a doorway. And inside the doorway, you can see a like lavish home, like couches and stuff, like the interior of a house. And he looks all of you over again. He says, "My name is Mordenkainen. Follow me." And he walks into the house.
Follow.
Yeah. It's the Mordenkainen.
I think it's a pretty good place to stop.
Yeah.
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 Tommy's character is a wizard, so he's probably the one that's going to be fangirling.
Oh,
That-
definitely.
Yeah. Is this the
That
tower
name-
spell?
This is
That name probably
Mordenkainen's
doesn't-
magnificent mansion.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang,
This
dude.
name probably means nothing to Burl, right?
Yeah, it'd be unlikely you would have heard of these spells. You might have, but it's unlikely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if Swain and Dio are down to follow him in, then I'm down to follow him in.
All right, you guys can speak with Mordenkainen next time.
Nope.
Yeah.
That whole situation could have easily went into combat, but you guys handled it pretty well. If you would have like spooked him, he would have started shooting lightning bolts and shit.
Well, that was sort of part of the deal with the with the Raven thing. I thought maybe I can essentially warn him that someone's coming. Based on the description we had before of a crazy wizard down here living in the fucking boonies that had already killed Strahd once.
Yeah.
He was under the effects of the Feeble Mind spell, which makes your intelligence and charisma scores 1.
Yeah.
But it specifically says on the spell that it can be ended by Greater Restoration.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
So
Okay.
Wow.
yeah, that was cool. There's like a 20th level wizard thing where you can like pick spells as your signature spells, and you can like cast them for free with no stuff. So I assume that even
Yeah.
if he's like feeble-minded, he could still do his signature spells because they're automatic.
Right.
So if someone would attack him, he would have just started shooting lightning bolts and stuff like that, Misty Step.
Yeah, it could have gotten really crazy.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be that strong
So
because he can't cast very many spells, but he can still blow people up with lightning bolt.
yeah. Speaking of Misty Step, so I was looking at the this Druid of the Dreams at 10th level. So when we hit the next level,
Hmm.
basically can cast Misty Step as a bonus action 5 times a day, or uh, as a like by choosing a ally within 30 feet, have them do the same thing.
That seems really good.
Yeah.
Just teleport around everywhere.
Yep. And once I make it a 14th level, I can just once a day cast either Scrying or Teleportation Circle
That's really,
without
that's pretty strong.
just without spending a spell slot. Yeah.
Those are both really useful spells.
Yeah.
I mean, teleportation circle wouldn't be very useful in Barovia, but generally it's really useful.
Well, so there is a restriction on the teleportation circle is that it only can take you back to the last place you took a long rest.
Okay, well that's not bad.
Yeah. But if you got like a base of operations that you work from, you can always just go back there.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, because it's like the hearth thing. That makes sense.
Hmm? Yeah.
Like the hearth thing with the flavor
Yeah.
of the
So basically,
dream druid.
and like if you use the scrying portion of it, it's scrying. There's another spell. I don't remember what it, but maybe just the dream spell, I think. And you basically like put yourself in someone's dream.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
pretty cool. I'm surprised you. I was gonna keep Vecna a secret for a while, but Tommy rolled really high, and his character could
yeah.
know. So,
Yeah.
but I
Because
guess
I actually like, man, I kind of wondered because I've not looked at any of this campaign stuff, so like there's so many different things incorporated in this, like Mordenkainen and Vecna and the Raven Queen. Like it makes me wonder, like, is that all part of this campaign thing, or are you like doing this yourself? And
um,
I don't really put it either way. It's interesting.
Vecna and the Raven Queen are both hinted, but not explicit. I've made
Okay,
I've just decided to make them more explicit,
nice.
and Mordenkainen is part of it.
Oh, really?
Um,
That's cool.
the Raven Queen and Vecna both there's like strong hints, but it's not specifically said.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole temple that's basically a temple to Vecna, but they don't actually use his name.
Yeah. Well, I guess I find it particularly interesting because I've been listening to the Vox Machina stuff, and of course those two are like a big part of that story. So
Yeah,
I've gotten pretty deep into it. I'm in like somewhere in the 80s of their episodes.
Are you still
yeah.
completely caught up on Dungeons and Daddies?
Yeah, it's gotten weird.
It's crazy. Have you seen the latest episode?
Yeah, it's gotten weird.
Yeah.
With the guest star,
Yeah. I thought that was pretty
yeah,
funny.
like I mean, it got me for a minute. I was like, man, did I miss an episode?
Dude, me too. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So confused.
So,
All right, guys. Well, I'll chat with y'all later.
Alright.
Good night.
Yep.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for hosting.